Hey, podcast pals. It's Dana from the Half-Ass Morning Show. As always, we appreciate you checking on the podcast, and it's all brought to you by our friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. The July heat means it's officially swass and crotch soup season. Gross! It also means our AC units are being put to the test. I recently went through an issue myself, and I was so happy to have my friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning in my corner. They gave me real options, didn't make me feel like a dummy for not knowing a single thing about HVAC systems, and let me choose what worked best for my home and my budget. No pressure, just comfort my way. Enjoy the show, thanks for listening, and stay cool this summer with Standard.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93
At the halfway mark, huh? The friggin' halfway mark, Wednesday. We're happier than hell to fire up today's program for you, and we appreciate you very much. I'll be damned if she didn't dump all the way down to 60-some degrees.
Love it.
It feels very good. Rain washed away all the heat, for now at least. Today's going to be a rainy bastard. You know what some folks say? They say it's a good day to sit down and watch a motion picture on a day like today.
I'd agree with that.
And speaking of pouring your carcass down onto the couch and watching a movie, let's give a word up to a feller here in town by the name of Emmett. Where do I have his information? Cubby, tell me what you think of this setup here. And you guys can tell me a lot about this, I'm sure. So there's a guy in town, he calls himself Emmett. He got fed up with the constant price hikes on streaming services. Tell me about the price hikes on streaming services. Is that something that keeps you up at night?
It doesn't keep me up at night, but it is frustrating that, what used to be about $7 a month is now about $30, it seems like.
Well, the tough part is it's everything. Mm-hmm. Any subscription, really pretty much anything you buy is more expensive.
Right.
Adds up quick.
I finally just canceled a few that I haven't used for a couple months, and I can't wait until something comes out that I want to watch on one of them, and I have to buy it again.
I got your password.
Sometimes you're treated better as a non-customer. Like when you join, hey, we're going to give you all this free stuff and a wicked deal on this for a year or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a good point.
All right, so this Emmett character decided he'd go in a different direction. Didn't like the price hikes on streaming services. Didn't like the fact that apparently they constantly removed some of his favorite television shows and movies. So what did he do? He's got a pop-up movie rental business.
Awesome.
I think this is pretty cool.
I don't quite understand, but well, go ahead, finish it, and I'll explain.
Yeah. He calls his operation Sloppy Discs, and you give him a few bucks. He shows up 4 or 5 times a month, typically at bars and coffee shops, and you can rent a DVD from him. He's got 250 DVDs. It says you can search his collection on his website. I went to the website. I can't find a single movie. But he typically brings 100 movies to each pop-up. So if you still have a DVD player, I guess this is your alternative to streaming services and all the fancy schmancy new stuff they've got going on.
Well, read the prices, though.
Oh, okay.
That's why I don't fully understand how this is a better deal. I wish him nothing but success, but when I got to that, I thought, well, my goodness, I think streaming services are cheaper.
You give them $15, and then you can rent all the movies you want for $5 each?
$5 each.
The $15 is a deposit, so if you don't bring back the DVD, he gets to keep the $15. But when you're done renting DVDs, you get your $15 back.
Does that seem like a lot per movie compared to a streaming service?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, especially because you can rent most movies for like $3.99, $4.99.
Yeah, and there's a couple streaming services I have. I think that are $7 a month or something like that. So, I mean, you watch 2 movies, and again, I hope he's very successful. But you watch 2 movies and you're already over.
Okay, so his per movie price is a little higher than what you get on streaming services.
Seems that way to me.
All right.
Yeah, maybe $1 a movie might be a better deal, but as somebody who worked in the rental industry, has experience in the industry, I do kind of like that he's trying to revive renting movies again.
Well, you like everything that's what's the word I'm looking for, Josh? Retro.
Nostalgia,
you're
retro.
You're a very nostalgic and retro guy. You support anything under that theme.
I really do, yes.
Shell Jesus has texted into the program to say, I have over 1,000 DVDs. Shell Jesus. Well, hell, you should be the top competitor to this Emmett guy then. Get out there and rent these out to fools.
I have noticed a lot more people kind of going back to getting DVDs because people are realizing that these streaming services, you don't own anything, you know? They can take things away, and by having a DVD, you can physically watch it anytime you want. And people are starting to realize that by spending this money on streaming services, you don't physically own the media. You're basically just borrowing it for a charge each month.
I've thought about that before, but I rarely watch a movie twice.
Okay.
I'm one and done for sure.
Oh, I can watch.
I have some that I used to buy digitally. I can watch it anytime. So you're saying you'd prefer to have the physical?
Yeah, a lot of people are saying they would prefer to have a physical copy of it that they technically own and can't be taken away because the digital thing in the cloud, it could just go away someday.
Okay, that's how I used to be with compact discs. Even when I have no idea, what do you call these new gimmicks so we can listen to music on? Streaming, okay. Spotify, things like that, right. Even after that kicked in, I was still buying compact discs, and my friend would say, why do you buy these things when you can just punch a button on your phone? And I had a thing for a brief period of time where I had to, well, I still like having the CD itself with the cover and the lyrics and whatever pictures and information. I like that gimmick. I know it's foolish. Recently, I finally turned my DVD in. DVD player is how you say it. Recently, I turned my DVD player into a thrift store, Goodwill type of a place, and I believe I also turned in most of my DVD movies and things like that. Will I come to regret that?
Potentially, I don't know. We don't know.
You'll probably be fine.
I'll probably fine?
Yeah.
I gave away all my DVDs, and I just kept the ones that I know will never be on streaming services, like maybe like certain concert DVDs.
Oh.
Or, you know.
And you still have the DVD player.
I still have a DVD player for that reason.
Now, that's definitely an advantage to owning something, in case it just goes away.
Right.
You can't find it someplace.
Josh, didn't we know a guy years ago who kept all of his DVD porno movies, and there were a lot of them. Hell, we heard from Shell Jesus, who said he or she has, well, I'm guessing it's a he with the Jesus name, 1,000 DVDs. Can you guys even think of what your total number was at any point?
I bet at one point I had about 1,000.
I would probably be, small hundreds, 100, maybe 200, if even.
Wow.
Yeah, we never really had a lot of those. Like when I was a kid, we never had like a huge stack of DVDs or anything. Maybe like 10.
Well, we didn't even have a VCR until I was in high school, so we never had any of that growing up. But when I got older, I would buy it, and then eventually I'd buy the ones that came with a digital copy, so you could bring it with you.
Where in the hell did you keep 1,000 DVDs?
In my parents' I was a junkie back in the day. There was one of those buy, sell, trade media stores in my neighborhood where, you could go and buy a used DVD that somebody else turned in for $4 or $5,
Sure.
Oh, cool.
So I was a junkie in that. We had two big bookshelves in our basement, those Florida, I can't describe it really, but two of those big bookshelves, and they were chock full of DVDs.
That is so cool. I was always so jealous when I went over to my friends' houses and they had stuff like that. Just like whatever movie you wanted to choose. Oh, it's so cool.
I maybe had 50 or so, and half were concert DVDs, band documentaries and things like that. Wrestler documentaries.
Oh, for sure.
I liked that. Mm-hmm. But anyway, 1,000 sounds like an insane amount. I just don't know where the hell I would put them and how I would justify that. Because there had to be a good percentage of those DVDs, Dana, that you never even looked at. 1,000? My God. So, but I was going to ask Josh, didn't we have a guy maybe that worked in the building here back in the day that had an immaculate collection of DVD porno movies and he kept them in alphabetical order. This is a story I heard, and he would dust them off and make sure they were in pristine condition.
Yeah, he still does. And it's not just movies, it's any type of porn from any genre, any year. I mean, going back to like the 40s, and he has it all in these protective sleeves, right? Dust-free sleeves.
He has World War II porn.
Everything.
Jeez.
He's a aficionado of all of it.
Magazines, VHS.
Boxes upon boxes, or I should say bins. They're plastic bins full of them, categorized.
Now, I like naked movies just as much as the next guy, but that sounds like maybe he has a problem.
Yes, that's a little scary.
Dude, yes. This guy, he does.
Masturbates all the time.
Yeah, oh yeah, he tracks like how many times he's masturbated to each.
No, he does not.
I'm kidding.
Oh, my God.
Whoa.
You know what? Actually, knowing him like I do, he might. He's very detailed.
That scared me.
Can you imagine? Oh, that was a real good session right there.
I just gave you the same look that I gave you in the hallway a day or two ago, didn't I?
Yesterday? Yeah.
Was it yesterday?
Yeah, and on the way out, I messed with Nick and told him I was having lunch with a particular person. I'd say the name, but nobody listening would know who it was. But the look you gave me was actually 3/4 disappointed dad, and 1/4, I think my friend just cracked up.
Yeah.
Like he just went insane.
Josh told me he was going to have lunch with a very, very, very questionable character. And I bought it because you are the type of guy who would sit down and try to help anybody.
And you know what? There is a part of me that would be willing to do so, but I understand it'd be a terrible idea.
Nick, I totally would have believed him, too, if I had been there.
I gave you the same look right there when you claimed the dude tracked his masturbation and kept it all on record. But sure, I'm not making that up. This guy pays closer attention to his porn collection than he does his loved ones. He watches over it. He guards it. He has a lock on all the boxes. He dusts them off. He keeps them in alphabetical. Come on.
That's a little scary. I don't like that. Dana, I don't know how. If I were you and I had that many DVDs, I don't think I would have gotten rid of them, because it sounds like something like that is awesome. Like, that's different. Did it hurt when you got rid of them?
Not really, to be honest. I mean, because a lot of them were, like, when am I going to watch Rat Race again? That type of thing. So no, it didn't really sting too much. I kind of just downsized over time. It wasn't like I just dumped off 1,000 DVDs at Goodwill in one sitting. I kind of just, as I moved, I was like, okay, am I going to watch this again? No, probably not.
So it was a slow process of eliminating these. Because if I worked at Goodwill and you walked in with a bucket of 1,000 DVDs, I might choke slam you. Because I know as an employee, I'm going to spend the rest of my friggin' day sorting through these.
Yeah, making sure that the DVD matches the case, making sure it's not scratched. Now, Dana, the statute of limitations is by far run out. And it's you're already smiling. I think you know where I'm going with this. The company is no longer in existence. You worked at Blockbuster.
Yeah.
How many of those videos did you steal?
Well, we got a lot of them for free. We did.
They just gave you some?
Yeah, because, they start off with, 100 copies of Kill Bill when it first comes out, and then they whittle it down. They try to sell some, and then when they get to a point where it's like, all right, we have this stack of Kill Bill DVDs we're never going to sell, and then employees could have them. So, yeah, I didn't steal any, but I did get a lot of the collection from working at Blockbuster.
Oh, I would have stolen so many.
A lot of people did, actually, and I would just watch them do it.
We have some people in our listening audience who have or had an incredible collection of home entertainment. High Hopes McGee, Jesus. I own 500 DVDs, 100 TV box sets. Oh, I think he means like a complete collection of a television show.
I used to have some of those. Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was great. I mean, before you could stream them.
I had All in the Family. I had Good Times, the complete box set. I wish I could tell you I got through. I had Beavis and Butthead, but I never got through most of it. 700 digital movies, says High Hopes McGee. Jesus.
I can understand the nostalgia, though, because I'm kind of going that way with books now, where before I would just read them on a tablet or something like that, and now I'm buying them. Or going mostly going to the library, but buying some, because, if there's a particular author you like, you can buy their new book usually for no extra cost. It would be autographed if you're interested. So I do a lot of that for some of my favorite authors.
I will always prefer a physical book. But mostly, it doesn't hit the same when you read it on like your phone or tablet.
And sometimes, it's nice to give your eyes a break too at some point from staring at a screen.
It's just, for me, it was like, well, then I could have a ton of books on this thing for whatever I'm into, at the time. So I did really enjoy that, but now I'm getting back more into the regular ones. Gunslinger Hippie Jesus said he inherited his great aunt's vintage VHS porno collection, which included a copy of Jane Bond meets Octopussy. I bet that was a classic.
Sounds good. Probably a lot of Peter North and Christy Canyon involved in those vintage porno movies. One of our listeners has over 3,000 DVDs in their home right now.
Man.
Many people are texting in to say that they have 1,000 DVDs.
That's the type of mosh pit I like to be in.
Highest number possible. So, anyway, I'm a little upset that I couldn't find, again, we started talking about this dude named Emmett here in town who goes bar to bar, coffee shop to coffee shop, and sets up his pop-up DVD rental business called Sloppy Discs. I was a little upset when I looked on his website. It says right here you can look at his collection. He's got 250 DVDs to choose from. It says you can look at his collection on his website. I couldn't find any of them. I wanted to know if he had Angel or Avenging Angel on DVD. You guys probably don't remember the Angel movie series.
I remember you talking about it, but I can't say I...
My brother and I fell in love with the Angel movie series when we were probably, 7th or 8th grade kids. It was on HBO. It's about a hooker, and she's hot, and all of her friends are hot, and so they're naked most of the movie. And there's a killer on the loose killing all the prostitutes, but Angel and her friends solve the crime. I was hoping maybe he'd have a copy of Body Double.
I'm looking at the list right now. I was able to pull it up.
How the hell did you find it? Does he have Body Double?
He does not have Body Double.
Well, then forget it.
Does not have Angel.
Does he get new ones for a rental, or are these just older movies?
I'm trying to look right now. It's all in alphabetical order. Almost Famous, Apocalypse Now, Atonement. I
don't know Atonement, but certainly Apocalypse Now.
I don't recognize any of the movies.
Unbelievable.
Apocalypse Now?
No, in his. He has like a picture of him sitting at his little
here. I'll send you
table
guys
here.
the link.
And like the movies that are up front that he seems to be, most proud of. I don't recognize any of them.
Well, that's your problem.
It's like Monkey Man. What's Monkey Man?
Never
Do you guys
seen
know
Monkey
that?
Man?
Hugo, the Wizard. Well, there's the Wizard of Oz, but
Well, maybe he's showing off bizarre movies on purpose for a joke. But I'm telling you one more time, I thought everyone was getting rid of this stuff. Our listeners, some of our listeners, as I'm reading text, wow, you have an immense collection of movies and this and that on DVD, on VHS. Wow.
This guy's website's pretty cool.
I must have clicked on the wrong thing or something.
Yeah, you must have.
The one I was on had no information at all. It had one picture of the man, and it mentioned a pop-up or two.
of course he has the Fast and Furious franchise.
But it doesn't look like he has all of them, Dana.
Looks like the only one who's missing is Too Fast, Too Furious.
Maybe you could sell it to him for
Does that
a
bother
huge
you?
number.
I got copies for him.
Here's a question that, Josh, maybe you can answer. And the text message begins with this. Question.
That's my favorite way to start.
Yeah. Do the newest PlayStation and Xbox play DVDs like the old ones?
You know what? I was going to ask that, too. We have an Xbox, the latest version. My son plays it. I don't. I think it plays DVDs.
Okay.
You have a PlayStation, don't you, Ashley?
I have an Xbox One.
Oh,
and
Xbox.
It plays DVDs. It doesn't really like anything that's not Blu-ray. It looks like crap.
I mean, do they even sell them at Target or Best Buy anymore? I know I've seen them like within the last couple of years, and the section where they sell them is tiny now compared to what it used to be. I did used to love walking up and down those aisles.
Oh, that was the best.
They sell them at Walmart, but they're usually in just like a huge bin in the middle of the aisle.
And you dig through the movies that, even like TNT wouldn't play at midnight.
I've gotten a little, crazy, and I'm like, I might as well look through that, and I've bought a couple movies, and there's actually, I found them the other day. They're still wrapped. I haven't watched them at all.
Welding While Ginger Jesus has texted in to say, comment, I have 750 books, he says, and he claims that's enough to meet the legal definition of a library.
Oh, that's cool.
You know who I need to ask? Take it easy, Cubby. My sister. I wonder how many books she owns. I wonder if it can top the 750 that Welding Wild Ginger Jesus has in his home. My sister has. It's obscene.
I'm so jealous. I want more books like that. They're so expensive, though.
My mother also is buried in useless, boring books. People are telling me I can watch Body Double. I was going through a couple of my favorite movies from the 80s, and I loved Angel, Avenging Angel, Body Double. People are telling me I can watch that on Tubi or other things that I don't understand. So I can find these movies if I want to.
I'm like you, Ashley, though. I noticed when I bought all these movies when I was younger that I never rewatched them. Comedies I'll rewatch, but that's about it. So it just kind of became a waste of money.
The only time I ever rewatched movies was when I didn't have Wi-Fi yet. When I lived in Minneapolis for a little bit, I was like, well, what the heck am I supposed to do? I can't watch TV. I don't have Wi-Fi. And I thought, oh my gosh, I have DVDs. And I watched the Simpson movie, I think like 10 times a week at least. It's so boring.
When your kid gets older, you'll likely show him some of your favorite movies. That's rewatch some of those.
I'm so excited to do that. I'm really excited. I've told my husband I want him to grow up on like the cartoons we used to watch. So I'm excited to play like Rugrats, Looney Tunes, stuff like that.
I still rewatch movies all the time. My God, once a week I watch Tombstone or Young Guns. Didn't you say you were going to send us some links on this Emmett guy? I don't see anything.
Oh, I sent them to Josh and Ashley. I don't know if you know. Do you want me to send it to your email?
Yeah. He doesn't do the other deal.
Yeah, it doesn't. Okay.
I want to see what this guy's got. Okay.
So someone's like, oh, you guys are talking a lot about DVDs. Do you like CDs?
I do.
Yeah, I also love CDs. Get back to us with more on that.
Yes, we love CDs.
We love CDs.
Why
Especially fitness CDs. If I could listen to a fitness CD.
Why do you ask? Text us. Why do you ask if we like CDs? Was there a movie or a concert movie, if that's how you say it, that you watched regularly when you were a kid?
Yes.
Regularly. What was it?
There's a couple. Spaceballs. Watched that a ton over and over and over. And the movie Rad, the BMX movie Rad. We watched that a ton.
Okay.
Mine was Tommy Boy. Watched the heck out of that.
That's a good one.
When I was in junior high and high school, just about every day when I got home from school, I would watch Kiss Animalize Live, which was a concert they released in 1985 of them playing a live show in Detroit. And my pal Dane, almost every day for 3 or 4 years, we would go back to my house after school and watch that concert VHS tape. We knew it was sick. And then actually, maybe towards the end of high school, we flipped over to Guns N' Roses Live from the Ritz, which came out in '88. We would also squeeze in our regular cartoons, things like Tom and Jerry was a big one. But I don't know. I don't know what it says about me, but every single day we would watch at least some of that Kiss or Guns N' Roses live concert footage.
I watch a lot of that on YouTube now. Been watching a lot.
That's very easy to do now.
I've never wanted to tell you guys because I thought you would be disappointed in me, but I absolutely hate live music like that. Like listening to it on YouTube or on DVD. I hate the crowd noise. I hate the sound quality. I can't do it.
Sometimes the sound quality sucks, but other times it's great.
You don't like live music?
No, well, like if I'm in person, yeah, absolutely.
But listening to a live record?
Nope, never liked it.
That's one of my favorite things in the whole world is a live record.
You don't like the little differences or...
Exactly, yeah.
And
Really?
Really, the crowd noise? You don't like when they really get into a certain part of a song? You don't like that?
No, I hate it.
I think you might be out of your friggin' mind.
Okay, we got an update. Somebody texted in earlier and asked us our thoughts on CDs. All of us were very favorable on CDs.
Yeah.
And then he just wrote back, CDs nuts!
Son
just
of a
rude.
bitch,
Rude.
bastard, low life, sneaky,
Why do we fall for that every time?
underhanded, classless. Ashley, you've never heard the intro to Iron Maiden's live record, Rock in Rio?
I don't believe so. Well, I probably have because I
Played it.
imagine we've played it here.
It will
right?
change. I'm surprised. They hit there's 120,000 people at the show or something. Iron Maiden. This was on their Brave New World tour. Hell, this is 25 years ago. There's 100 some odd thousand people there. They hit the intro music, and the crowd becomes so loud. It sounds like a war is happening, and then somehow they get even louder, and it's one of the coolest things I've ever heard. We've got to spend more time together. I can't understand anybody who doesn't like live music on record, on whether you're listening to it on a boombox, on a Walkman, whatever, on your cell phone. Oh my damn.
I guess I've seen a couple videos of things like that, and that usually sends chills down my spine. But
Yeah, that's
I think it's
exactly
because I can physically see it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like look at how happy the artist is and how excited the crowd is. I think I might need that visual to go along with it.
So even bands you love.
Yeah, I will always skip their live song if they have one on the album.
That's weird. I used to buy those all the time. Anytime a band I liked had a live CD, I wanted to listen to that immediately.
Oh yeah. All right, I'm looking through this Emmett guy's movie collection, and I just wanted to scroll until I found a movie that I have seen and hated. Okay? Yes, we have some really great stuff in here. The Hurt Locker, I like that one. Inglourious Bastards, I can watch that every day. This is alphabetical, so,
They got Baby Driver on there for you. I know you
Baby
love that
Driver
one.
sucked. Jaws, I love Jaws. But I ran into one, which is perfect, that I have watched, and it was just one of the worst experiences of my life. And it's called The Lighthouse.
Oh my gosh, that is such a ridiculous movie.
I'm surprised you watched that. Did somebody else get you to watch that? It just doesn't seem like something you'd ever turn on your own.
No, I mean, there was somebody there with me, and it was a situation where I think this was during the COVID a pandemic, right? The pandemic, where there was nothing else to do. Hell, I like Willem Dafoe. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And I think we had heard that this movie won awards. Okay, put it on.
I believe it was reviewed very well.
Oh, my God.
90% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, my God.
What's the popcorn meter on that? That's the one I pay more attention to, the ones where just regular people are giving their opinion on it, because sometimes the critics are goofy.
72 on the popcorn meter.
Yeah, it's
was
good.
So friggin' pointless, stupid, boring. I was furious when it was over. Furious.
Was it worse than the Iron Claw?
Yeah,
Wow.
I really do think it was worse than the Iron Claw or Get Out.
That is saying something. All right.
The
Get
Lighthouse, was there like a weird masturbation scene in the Lighthouse?
Yeah,
Okay.
there was a weird masturbation scene.
What's the movie where someone humped a dolphin?
I have no idea.
I gotta look that up.
Free Willy?
I don't remember that.
Was a whale.
No dolphin humping in that one.
No, I don't know. A movie where someone humped a dolphin.
I thought it was like with Harry Potter or something like that. Oh, there's a movie called Dolphin Lover.
Oh.
You're
not
a
it.
dolphin
Is
lover.
it Desperado?
I don't think think it's Desperado.
Christ, I mean, they were in the middle of the, the desert. Where were they going to find a dolphin?
Desperados from 2020. I'm sorry, I misspoke.
Desperados. I don't know that one. Ooh, No Country for Old Men. I like that one. Anyway.
That's a good one.
We ought to get going again. We ought to go ahead and get... It's Wednesday. Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder be here at 7:30, and we got plenty more to cover. So I'll tell you this right now. We'll take a break, and we'll come... Ooh, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I like that one.
I haven't seen that yet.
But you know what sucked?
Who dat?
The Lighthouse. We'll be right back on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
93X.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
Hey, podcast pals. It's Dana from the Half-Assed Morning Show. As always, we appreciate you checking on the podcast, and it's all brought to you by our friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. The July heat means it's officially swass and crotch soup season. Gross! It also means our AC units are being put to the test. I recently went through an issue myself, and I was so happy to have my friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning in my corner. They gave me real options, didn't make me feel like a dummy for not knowing a single thing about HVAC systems, and let me choose what worked best for my home and my budget. No pressure, just comfort my way. Enjoy the show, thanks for listening, and stay cool this summer with Standard.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Progressive loves to help people make smart choices. That's why they offer a tool called Auto Quote Explorer that allows you to compare your Progressive car insurance quote with rates from other companies. So you save time on the research and can enjoy savings when you choose the best rate for you. Give it a try after this episode at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Hello, my loves. It's Lala Kent. Yes, that Lala. And if you're not listening to the Give Them Lala podcast, here's what you're missing out on.
I stayed with my two kids. Mom and Kristen shared a room, and you and Landon shared a room. What the hell is going on? A lesbian couple, a gay couple, and then this
random woman with two kids.
So weird, but to me, it's the most common thing. This is my brother, his best friend, and my mom and her best friend. This is just how we roll. This is called the pod, okay?
Give Them Lala. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Now that I've gotten all that off my chest, we can move on with the morning show. Thanks, Josh. Thanks, Ashley.
No problem.
How's it our fault?
What? What are you talking about? I'm legitimately thanking
you sounded sarcastic.
No. I was venting a little bit while we were playing commercials, and you guys fielded it well. That was being legitimate when I thanked you.
Well, we're good friends. Dana, you did not come out unscathed, I'm sorry to say.
Oh!
I'm sure I did.
I am sorry to say.
Anytime you guys are laughing and carrying on in there, I assume you're talking about me.
Well, it's because I point.
Yeah.
Just to make sure you know who we're talking to.
You like wave your arms like, look, yeah, we're talking about you, bud. We're
Pretty
laughing
much.
about you.
Or I'll hold up a sign if it seems like you're just not getting it.
There's a self-confidence problem on this morning show. Dana says anytime we're laughing in this room, he assumes it's about him. Josh just said something off air that was so Josh. There's a self-confidence problem on this morning show. Josh, can I repeat what you said?
Go ahead.
We were talking, just general life stuff, and Josh said, direct quote, I don't think anybody likes me as much as they used to. Pause. And I know it's my fault.
That is word for word.
Come on, you guys.
It was within context of the conversation.
Have a little confidence in yourself.
I'm going to get you guys some self-help books for Christmas.
And I think I just damaged myself more right there.
Doesn't my disgusting arrogance rub off on you at all?
Well, I think everyone can't be the same way,
It rubs off on me a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm like having a really hard time with myself. Honestly, I think about you.
Be cocky. You're a big deal.
You did just say something, you're saying, sometimes I feel like that, but the difference is I don't care.
Yeah.
Dana's over there watching us all laughing, and he's saying to himself, sons of bitches.
My friends are having fun without me and probably at my expense.
They're making fun of me over there, aren't they?
You got to take that window out so you can be a part of it off air.
Yeah, go ahead. Laugh it up, douchebags. Laugh it up.
I know where you live.
We should make it like how a fast food window is, so he can open it up.
That's what I think.
Hey, we're going to close this real quick as we're going to talk about you.
Yeah, would that be better or worse?
You guys have a button where the curtain just comes down so I can't see what you're doing in there.
Yeah, it's just like a limo.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, some tinted glass, it just pulls straight up. And then you can't hear what we're talking about in there.
Josh says, yeah, I don't think anybody likes me as much as they used to. And I know it's my fault.
You know, there was a time, Dana, back in the day, Nick, you'll probably remember this. There was a coworker that really liked to go after you and I, especially you. He had an issue with you.
I think I know who you're talking about, but I can't be 100% sure.
And remember...
There were a few people who didn't like me.
Yeah, that is on him, by the way, 100% on him.
Well, listen to that.
It's true.
Yeah.
You remember he didn't realize that his mic went into our studio at all times?
Oh, that's fun.
And
I'm so jealous.
We could hear everything that was said in that studio. It looks like you might not remember. There was one time he was on the phone with a friend. Okay, now you remember?
Yeah, now I remember.
And he says, listen, I can lead these idiots to water, but I can't make them drink.
Damn!
I think we laughed for a week at that.
I remember that.
That was a pretty funny line.
Yes,
Did you guys ever confront him?
No, it wasn't going to do any good.
There were confrontations, of course, not specifically about that. But you know what we did? We waited.
I love that.
Because we knew someday we waited until our opportunity. And then we struck.
This was the same person, and I apologize to longtime listeners. You've heard this story a million times before. I wish you were there to see it, though, because it was so good. We were on a work trip in Colorado at the X Games, and Nick and this guy were really getting into it in a hotel room. I mean, I really thought...
No condom, no nothing.
Yeah. I mean, they were just tearing each other's asses apart.
Right.
I thought for sure you guys were going to fight. I mean, It was as closest I've seen you enraged before. I've seen you go toe-to-toe with people, but I've never thought he's going to fight him. And that night I did.
Yeah.
So you're like, F it. Let's get out of here, Josh. So we leave. You slam the door, and all of a sudden he goes... I forgot my beer.
Yeah.
And he went back in to get... I mean, we could have went and got another one, but that was so awesome. You just went back in, grabbed your beer, and stormed back out.
Yeah, go F yourself there, tough guy. Slammed the door. We took about 5 steps, and I said, oh, Christ, Cubby. He said, what? I left my cooler of beer in there. I had to go back and get it.
The last beer left in Colorado that weekend. Had to have it.
Yeah.
For the texts coming in here on guesses, you are 100% right. Guessing who that is.
All right, with today's stupid news, it's another day and another Gator State buttlord who can't keep from starting trouble. Can't keep from aggravating folks.
Buttlord is such a good word.
That's why I threw it into the mix,
Yeah,
Josh.
I love that word.
That's why I threw it into the last week. A sad-ass 40-year-old dude. He goes by the name of Jeffrey. He got himself arrested because he sucks. What he did was he upped and stole a pile of sex toys and whatnot, sex toys and other items, from his neighborhood Walmart.
Walmart's a lot different than it used to be, isn't it? I mean, Walmart used to be, they kind of dictated the music industry for a long time, where if you wanted to sell your albums at Walmart, you had to clean them up. You had to have the sticker on it.
Yeah.
And some of them were edited.
All of them, heavily.
As far, not just the CD itself, but also the cover art, like Poison, Open Up and Say Ah, one of the more famous ones.
Open up and say ah.
I had the original CD before they put the black bars on the top and bottom because the devil tongue was too long or whatever.
And by the way, that was one of the dumbest album covers of all time. It was like a devil woman with a long tongue. It looked like an 8th grader had drawn it. Anyway, yes, Walmart used to censor this and censor that, and now they're selling sex toys.
It's a different world, isn't it?
I guess money walks and BS talks. Dude stole a large amount of sex toys from and some other things from his neighborhood Walmart. Let me give you the rundown. On 2 separate occasions, here's what he snatched up out of there. A G-spot suction vibrator. Anyone, feel free to speak up and give me your opinions on these different items, if you have any at all. He stole a G-spot suction vibrator.
Isn't that like the real popular one now?
Yeah.
That's what you want when you get a vibrator, right?
That's the classic.
Everyone's got one.
Oh, it's I thought that was relatively new technology.
No, it is new.
Yeah,
but I see what you're saying. Like, that's the standard.
Actually means that's the go-to.
Gotcha.
Everyone has a G-spot suction. He got himself a vibrating pocket wand for her. He grabbed an anal toy. Flavored lubes. A vibrating bullet massager. And an oral stroker.
I got a nice variety there.
And a $3.98 bucket of Reese's Peanut Butter Cup ice cream.
Oh, I'm not a big sweets guy, but that slaps. That sounds good. I haven't had that. They got everything at Walmart.
Yeah, they do.
It's a good price, too.
That's true. My wife likes to get ice cream. She's got a sweet tooth, and that stuff can be kind of expensive.
We eat ice cream all the time at my house. All those sex toys, and he made sure he grabbed his $3.98 bucket of Reese's Peanut Butter Cup ice cream. Dude is in jail now, wishing, I'm sure, that they would allow him that oral stroker. I didn't know Walmart sold so many F-toys.
I didn't either. I remember the first time I saw him at Target, and it was the only reason I saw him is I was fact-checking. A friend said, you know, you can get sex toys at Target? I'm like, no, you can't. And lo and behold, there they are. Chaos Coordinator Shiza says on the topic of a vibrator with the suction action, I don't have one, she says, but you have my attention.
Oh, girl, you got to get one.
It hits the clitoris. Is that the...
Oh, my God.
Well, I mean, it's a technical
that's
term.
the goal.
What's another word for it?
No, you're right. Yeah.
Bean? I don't know. I didn't know what's more appropriate. I didn't shorten it because that seems dirtier.
Yeah, it does for some reason. You're right.
That's what it does.
I'll give you what I know about the, how did I say it again? The suction vibrator. Turn on the radio or turn on a song or something, because those sumbitches are loud.
They're much better now.
If you live in an apartment or you got a roommate or something, play some music. Because that pig just... It does. It just rattles the whole works.
So, okay, aren't all vibrators loud?
No.
I've never even been around
this
one.
Thing just goes...
In use, I should say. I've seen one, but I've never, seen it in use or heard something.
You'll know it if someone in your neighborhood's using one.
Yeah, a lot of them are just kind of like a gentle hum, like a fan. But, yeah, then there are the ones that sounds like it's heavy machinery being used at a construction site.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Get some earmuffs.
Somebody's mad at me for saying that slaps. I did it on purpose, but I hear what you're saying. That's aggravating when a 50-year-old guy says that slaps.
You were right, Josh. No one likes you as much as they used to.
Yeah, he brought that up.
Yeah.
Motorcycle riders. Cubby, you used to ride a motorcycle.
I did.
I didn't like it.
You didn't?
Nope.
Were you worried about him?
Yeah. I didn't like you racing around town on one of those motorbikes because I didn't want you to get hurt. I didn't want you to be an organ donor. An old Vietnam vet friend of mine calls them organ donors. Whenever he sees a pack of motorcycles go by, he goes, for Christ's sake, the organ donors are back.
I've mentioned this before, but Dana and Ashley, when we first started in our old building in Golden Valley, there used to be a cop that would hang out there in the morning. Not for us, for Tom Bernard, to make sure, that he was going to be okay. And so, when I would ride my motorcycle in there, the Golden Valley cop, he finally came up to me one day. He's like, hey, you know why us cops like it when you guys wear helmets? And I hadn't heard this at the time. He's like, hey, so we don't have to get our hands dirty when we pick your heads up off the freeway.
Oh, my God. Whoa.
And top of the morning to you as well. Mm-hmm. That comment slapped.
I would have thought twice about being like somebody that drives a motorcycle if I heard that from a police officer.
I did think about that.
Here's a text that just came in. Wants to make sure we cover the topic of lane splitting while we're at it. Shut up.
I haven't seen it yet.
I saw it the other day. It was weird.
Don't care. Don't care.
My wife just asked me
here we go.
if I've seen that yet, and I have not.
Motorcycle riders. Josh, what do you think of the trick rider type of characters that have to do something mental out there for attention and whatnot? That's a scary, isn't it?
You're talking about just like the average Joe?
Yeah, the average Joe.
I don't like that, especially because, it always... Then everybody thinks that all motorcyclists are douchebags.
I'm not talking about guys that do it competitively.
Yeah,
right?
I love that.
I'm talking about when you're on your neighborhood highway and some dudes are, wee, look, I'm upside down on my motorcycle and I'm listening to a song on my radio.
Oh, you're so cool. I had a buddy. Well, we don't talk anymore, but he used to drive a crotch rocket and he did oh my gosh, why? Pregnancy brain. A wheelie. Yeah, there we go.
Sure.
And so
I've heard of the move, yeah.
Cop flipped the cherries on, and then he decided to turn it into a chase. It was just, I'm like, just for a wheel? Like, he probably wasn't even going to give you a ticket. He probably would have just said, hey, you got to knock that off.
I did one of the best wheelies of all time, and it was 100% on accident. And it scared the hell out of me.
I bet, dude. Oh, my God.
I tried so many times to do I could never, ever get it right, except for the one time on accident.
Afterwards, did you kind of just stop the bike and sit there for a minute? Like, what just happened?
Took me a week and a half to stop shaking. Yeah.
Was there one incident, Josh, that made you stop, not wanting to ride your motorcycle anymore or sell it, or did you just kind of outgrow it?
It was when we were trying to have my son. The vet, is that where you go?
Yes.
He had said, listen, here's one of the things you could try not doing for a while, see if that helps things out.
Okay.
Here's a dude, another Gator State buttlord, who got arrested for speeding and reckless driving after a cop spotted him riding hands-free on his motorbike, quote, with his arms outstretched like he was Jack on the Titanic, is how the cop put it. That sounds like a great way to spend the rest of your life in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And possibly kill 6 or 8 other people on the roadway. Damon Hankins is this cute trick rider's name. He's 34. And hopefully he grows older than that. But I got to be honest, I don't like his chances. It says here he was going 105 miles per hour while he mimicked Leonardo DiCaprio's I'm the King of the World gimmick while traveling down the highway. 105 in a 55 with other traffic present, and he's standing up with the arms. I mean, just... The cop said he drives a Kawasaki Ninja ZX-6R. Is that a nice one, Josh?
That was my first bike.
What?
Yep.
He's one of those that likes to post Instagram videos showing him acting like a douche on his motorbike. He put up a video recently where he was going 175 miles per hour. So I don't like his chances. He's convinced he's got something to prove. So I don't like his chances, but, I hope I'm wrong.
Somebody says, are you sure that wasn't Chris Lindahl doing another advertising stunt?
Mm-hmm. Oh, sure. Uh-oh. There was a big old fist fight at the Trumbull County Fair. You guys know where do you know where Trumbull County is?
No, but it sounds like the kind of fair that would have maybe like one ride for kids.
I'll tell you where it is. It's in Ohio. Maybe just one ride for kids and the rest are beer gardens.
Yeah.
Sure,
They got the, what is it? The Legion is usually, or the Lions Club is there.
Everybody loves a good drunken scrap at the county fair. Until, that is, somebody ups and punches a horse. It says here now, a fight between 15 to 20 young people at the Trumbull County Fair led to one stupid kid being arrested last weekend. That's a pretty good-sized brouhaha right there, 15 to 20 people. By the time the cops rolled up, the fight had come to a close. The cops told everyone to get the hell out. But some of the kids wanted to get fresh. They had to come off at the mouth. They became, as they call it here in the story, verbally combative with the police. One mounted officer was using her horse to drive the crowd off the fair grounds, and that's when one of the kids, a young gal, swung her purse. Hit him with your purse. You put what movie? Slapshot. One young gal swung her purse and hit the cop and the horse. And then that same kid balled up her little teenage fist and started punching the horse.
Oh my gosh, I want to beat her ass.
Yeah, me too. I want to beat her ass too.
I don't even like horses like that, but you don't got to be doing all that.
Now you're going to get your ass kicked. If I'm the cop up on horseback and the kid starts punching my horse, now you're going to get tuned up.
Stuff just got real.
Now I'm going to give you a reason to be pissed off because I'm going to baton you until your parents come and pick you up.
Maybe some mace.
Yeah.
Taser. Everything.
Whatever you got. Yep. Beanbag rounds.
Yeah.
Bring it.
The cops took great pleasure in slapping this kid around for a while, and she continued to resist arrest. It was just a friggin' mess. Threatening to kill the cops. Now, the old-timer in town, the old-timer in Trumbull County, the guy who runs the county fair, not happy about this. And he released some type of a statement where he said, he goes by the name of Barry Brown. He said, you can rest assured, I'm going to turn over every rock to figure out what can be done with these juvenile delinquents that are coming into our fairgrounds and trying to ruin what has taken us so long to build. I refuse to tolerate or allow these juveniles or anyone else to ruin what is a fun-filled experience for so many fair goers, 4-H members, and our vendors. We have to make them face the consequences of their behavior. Barry Brown, don't play that.
I'm glad. He's right.
He is right.
A lot of those little fairs get ruined from folks like that.
Yeah.
There's one we won't go to anymore for that reason.
Yeah, same here.
Punch a horse. You prick.
She's going to get in some pretty big trouble there.
Yeah, that's technically assaulting an officer.
Somebody texted in and said that she's lucky that the horse didn't kick her. I would have loved that.
That's just that swift vengeance.
Maybe the horse is planning its revenge.
Yeah, I think the horse should get one shot at her at least.
You ever see that video on YouTube where there's some kind of a parade in a Mexican village or something, and there's some skilled horsemen out in the middle of the street, and there's a huge crowd, and there's some skilled horsemen out in the middle of the street, and they're doing like the horse dancing. Oh,
I love that.
And my horse goes this way, and yours goes that. And then a drunk wanders out. Hey, horses, I like horses. And the horse kicks the piss out of the guy. Oh, the horse kicks him right in the jaw. It's like a Shawn Michaels highlight reel. And the dude is just absolutely dead on the street. And everyone just throws their beer on him and says, serves you right, you dumb bastard. I'm trying to watch the horse dancing.
That's awesome.
Oh, my God, it's so beautiful.
Instant karma.
The horse knew, look, I'll handle this. The horse said, I'll handle this. We don't need a drunk out on the street when we're trying to do our show. Oh. All right. This blows. Out in the middle of nowhere's California. Out in the woods. Don't you know? Derelict burglar lowlife puke bags broke into somebody's house and let all the bears in. I'll explain. 64-year-old lady in Northern California says, I mean, this is just tragic in the first place. She was forced to just up and leave her home. Speaking of, we were talking about people who ruin the county fair and things like that. What gets into these people? How can you be that way? This lady was forced to just up and leave her house behind because of a series of thefts out there in the middle of the woods. She was scared. She just couldn't be there anymore. That's how often derelicts were kicking in her friggin' door.
Jesus.
What has happened to us? Anyway, so from what I understand, the derelict burglar low-life puke bags continued to break into her house and destroy it. After she left, they continued to use her house, probably smoking rock or something in there. They need a place to smoke meth rocks. They did so much damage to the house that now the effing bears that live out in the woods have started to wander in and make her house their new hangout as well. So not only has her place been mangled by the local crack smokers, now big fat ass black bears have been making massive turd piles all over the floor and whatever else bears feel like doing when they have a household to themselves.
What the?
This lady's just living with a girlfriend or something going, what happened? I had a beautiful house out in the woods, then the crackheads showed up, then the bears.
It's like the opposite of Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
I wish I remembered the details on that one.
Well, the bears might have reenacted that, trying out your breakfast to check the temperature and then your beds for the softness. Why not?
The local cops have arrested 10 kids. Well, suspects, I guess. I don't know their age.
They all look pretty like 30s or 40s.
Okay. Oh, they're a little older. Can you imagine? These effing scumbags smooth ran this poor lady out of her house, and on top of that, her beautiful home is now a flop house for a pack of sexually active 275-pound black bears. Someone's getting choked unconscious if I'm this lady.
Yeah, I'm glad they got him. But, yeah, I can't imagine. I mean, having to clean that all up and pay for, probably have to, all the repairs you got to pay for.
I would give up on that house. I don't know. Is there any fixing?
No.
Does insurance cover bears and meth dens?
Yeah, good question. Fentanyl dens? I was talking about this horse kicking a guy in the yap video a minute ago. Someone texted, and Josh, they want you to look up horse. This is a video you need to look up, Ashley. Horse kicks tree, then farts on dog. Tell me if you find anything.
Yeah, I had Googled that while we were going there.
Did you find a horse that kicks a tree and then farts on a dog?
Yeah.
And it's all true?
I don't have the audio up, but I'm going to believe it.
Fair enough.
No, this horse is angry.
Well, it's got a fart ready to go, and it doesn't know where to put it until the dog shows up.
I bet horses can really bring it, too.
I've been on I've been on the front lines of that.
I have.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, it's not good.
Have you ever ridden a horse?
Once when I was like third grade, and some kid got bucked off and had to get taken out of the ambulance, and I said, okay, I think I'm good on horses.
You know what a horse fart sounds like? That suction cup vibrator we were talking about.
Can you give us your imitation of it again?
All right, we got to go. So, again with the Northern California real quick. This guy effed up. A dude out that way, Northern California, he saw an injured bear on the side of the road, and he decided to try and help the bear out. And it mauled him!
Oh, does it say what kind of bear it was?
Yes, it does. What the hell's wrong with this guy? It's dangerous to try and help an injured dog, and you decided to play injured animal whisperer with a stinking bear? You gotta be really stupid to do that. This dumb bastard bear whisperer is a 59-year-old. Now, there's some conflict here. One report said he saw the bear get hit by a motor vehicle, but a later report said he hit the bear with his car on accident. The second report said it was guilt that led the dude to try and help the bear because he smoked it with the front bumper of his pickup. And I can certainly understand the guilty feeling.
Yes, absolutely.
But still, I'm sure as hell not going to get out the cab and try and put a Band-Aid on a bear that's hemorrhaging blood on the roadside.
I'd probably get out.
Well, that road trip you and I took to sell some brake parts, Remember, we tried to save that deer, thinking it was dead. It woke up and it absolutely destroyed your convertible.
Man. Oh, that was my convertible? So you're Chris Farley?
I didn't know which way to go. I'd sound conceited if I had a convertible. You seem like you could have a convertible. I couldn't pull a convertible off.
Oh, man. I understand the feeling of guilt if you hit a bear, but I'm not getting out the pickup. No, what happened was, once dude got out of his ride, he tried to give the bear a little boost over a concrete barrier on the side of the road, like, maybe if I push you back into the woods, you'll be okay. He wanted to make sure that the bear got off the highway. The bear didn't know he was trying to help because it's a bear. And it bit down on dude's forearm multiple times. The bear turned this guy's forearm into goulash. It just so happened an off-duty EMT happened to drive by, and he slapped a tourniquet on the dude's arm, and it says here he ended up getting taken care of at a nearby hospital.
Wow, the luck.
Yeah, very lucky.
The bear didn't make it.
Got one more, I guess. Almost kill, and at least.
Yeah,
Final meal.
he had a final laugh. The bear upped and died.
Dang.
Yeah, I'm not getting out the vehicle. I'm sorry. I feel bad that I've run over this bear, but it's a friggin' bear. By damn. All right, we got to take a break. We'll check the sports when we come back.
Time now for your weekly video game update.
On the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
93X.
44 years after the original Donkey Kong arcade game was released and helped single-handedly save Nintendo, everyone's favorite dress tie-wearing ape is back in the spotlight in a big way in 2025. Dana here with your video game update. DK's latest adventure, Donkey Kong Bonanza, comes out on the Nintendo Switch 2 tomorrow, and all early indications are very promising. Bonanza is a full-on 3D platforming game, much different than the various 2D Donkey Kong Country games we've gotten over the last decade or so. People have gotten their hands on early copies have compared it more to the original Switch's Super Mario Odyssey, which, by the way, is somehow 8 years old. Let that sink in as another reminder of how close we are to a nursing home where we shout, "Back in my day, the controller only had an A and a B button," to some poor attendee tasked with changing our diapers. Yeah, we're that old. But that's not all. Someone much smarter than you and I discovered Nintendo recently filed a patent for a trademark for a Donkey Kong movie. Look at that. Our big ape is headed to the big screen. No details yet, of course, but it's really no surprise they're doing this. After a lot of epic failures with video game movies, I mean, seriously, go back and watch the original Super Mario Brothers movie again. I dare you. It's even rougher than you remember. Have a beer and have some laughs. But movie studios have finally figured out how to make great video game movies. Look at the recent Mario Brothers movie, the incredibly successful Sonic movie franchise, and even the Mortal Kombat movie that came out a few years back was pretty good. So there you go, fellow Nintendo dorks and Donkey Kong devotees. Our pimp primate is still getting all the attention he deserves nearly 50 years later.
93X.
Sports. On the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
I got a no trade clause. I'm a Minnesota Twin for the rest of my life. So that's the best feeling in the world, knowing I get to walk into a clubhouse and it's going to say Twins for the rest of my life.
And so you won't waive it. You're going to stay with.
I'm a Twin. That's home.
That gives me a good feeling.
I love him.
Yeah. I was glad to see that as well.
Byron Buxton saying he's here for life. He's going to be a lifer with the Minnesota Twins. Watched him play in last night's All-Star game. History was made, I guess is how you might say it, in last night's Big League All-Star game. It came down to a swing-off. So all the players put their car keys in a jar, and their wives grabbed up and the National League won.
Aranda slices a fly ball to left center field, headed towards the wall, but short, and the National League wins it in the first swing-off.
It was like a second version of the home run derby. That's how they settled the ball game. I had forgotten that they added that rule a couple of years ago. And to be honest with you, I fell asleep before the damn thing ended. I'm a little angry with myself because the lights went out and I missed the ending, Josh. Did you watch the ending?
No, I didn't either.
You were out cold, too.
I forgot about the swing.
Or maybe bumping.
No, I fell asleep super early yesterday.
Josh and his wife like to bump.
Jealous.
I forgot about the swing-off thing, too, so when I Googled the score and I saw it was 6-6, I was like, oh, we had another tie?
Yeah,
Come on.
Right. No, we can. We'll talk about it when Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder swing by. It's kind of cool. I got no problem with it. National League got the win, and now we got nothing for a while. I suppose the Lynx have a game tonight, but baseball won't get started again until, what day is it today? Wednesday?
Yep.
I think they go Friday. They start up Friday. Real quick before we move on, we got to talking about horses, bears. We were talking about all different types of animals in our Stupid News report. We even got to talking about a horse fart. It's not pretty. You want to be a safe distance from a horse when it. Jace, a listener by the name of Jace, texted in and said when he was a young kid, he got to ride an elephant at the state fair.
Wow, that's cool.
I'll tell you what.
I got to ride an elephant once. It was at a circus. It was very scary.
Were you a young kid as well?
Yes.
Man.
Did it fart?
I don't know. I don't think so.
That sounds scary.
Did you?
No.
No. That sounds scary. Those are large, dangerous, angry.
I'd be nervous on that.
Hateful animals. The elephant is known to be very hateful and aggressive and angry.
They remember everything, too.
I'm kidding. They're actually, I think, usually the general opinion is they don't start trouble with you unless you start trouble with them. But anyway, Jace got on an elephant when he was a little kid at the state fair. That thing, he said, took a dump and a whiz whilst I was on it. He said it was like a fire hydrant that had just been opened up, and it was the most memorable moment of my childhood.
I bet.
I thought that was good. Yeah, that's crazy to see when you're a kid. Oh, my gosh.
God dang.
I've seen that like on a nature documentary where they show it pee or whatever, and it's outrageous. I can't imagine being there in person.
Oh, for the love of... We'll take a break, come back in a few minutes with Josh's news report.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Hey, podcast pals. It's Dana from the Half-Assed Morning Show. As always, we appreciate you checking on the podcast, and it's all brought to you by our friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. The July heat means it's officially swass and crotch soup season. Gross! It also means our AC units are being put to the test. I recently went through an issue myself, and I was so happy to have my friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning in my corner. They gave me real options, didn't make me feel like a dummy for not knowing a single thing about HVAC systems, and let me choose what worked best for my home and my budget. No pressure, just comfort my way. Enjoy the show, thanks for listening, and stay cool this summer with Standard.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
The No Contest Wrestling Podcast.
I am the heel that you love to hate, O'Shea Jackson Jr. TJ Jefferson, what up? Friends of the show are really wanting to engage with this podcast.
Welcome, AJ Francis.
They were like, we just want you to cause a ruckus. So I went out there, did my own version of a pipe bomb, and it went everywhere.
Wrestling royalty right here. Mick Foley. Anything that you're glad that it's gone?
Well, glad the chair shots to the head are gone.
The No Contest Wrestling Podcast, part of the Rich Eisen Podcast Network.
Can you tell them where to find us?
Yeah, follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
It's not just the swearing. Did one of you fornicate?
Fornicate? Look, I've boned a lot of chicks in my time, sure. But as far as I can recall, I've never fornicated anybody.
93X.
Do you have any weapons on you? Where's the gun at? Okay, where's it at? Don't reach anything, bro. You don't want to do anything stupid. You understand me?
It could have easily went south. But thank God it didn't.
It's safe to say one Michigan job seeker won't be serving tacos anytime soon. An 18-year-old told police he called Taco Bell about a job last week, but wasn't getting the answers he craved. So, naturally, he did what any determined applicant might do, showed up in person, lifted his shirt, and exposed his Glock. By the end of Thursday, his job hunt ended with him face down on the pavement instead of behind the counter.
He was upset because he's been trying to reach out to them to obtain an application. And he said he reached out a couple times and no one responded.
Police say the teen then burst in demanding answers. He whipped out his guacamole, flipped off a few Taco Bell people, then he flipped some tables and stormed out. A few blocks later, officers found him, discovered the weapon was actually a BB gun designed to look like the real thing.
He removed the weapon from his waistband and found out it was a modified BB gun that looked like a Glock.
Authorities say even flashing a fake firearm can carry real consequences. Now they're recommending charges of felonious assault and brandishing a firearm.
What in the hell is wrong with this kid?
He just really wants to work for a living. That's all.
Yeah, he's showing he's passionate.
What a dummy. Surveillance video captured some pastry pandemonium when a suspect, dressed in what appeared to be women's clothing, jammed up a California donut shop and weaponized some warm, gooey confections.
11 is additionally a 211 in progress, Western 18th Street. The suspect inside on with a handgun, milk, wearing a green shirt, pink pants, and a hat.
Wow, she talks fast. Around 3:30 a.m., LAPD officers responded to a call about a robbery at a local donut shop where a caller reported 41-year-old Christopher Hall was armed and glazed, threatening employees with what appeared to be a gun. Security footage showed Hall, scantily clad in a woman's outfit, walking up to the counter, flashing a gun, a knife, and thankfully nothing else. He forced two employees into the back at gunpoint, then, for reasons unknown, began pelting them with cinnamon rolls like sugar-coated grenades.
Bro.
Eventually, they just threw him a bowl full of cash, hoping to distract him, which it did. While he was busy scooping up the money, they saw their chance, and the employees fought back, ramming him with a cart and trying to overpower him. Hall ran off, however, yet he didn't get far. Body camera footage shows Hall pointing a gun at officers, prompting one to open fire.
He's right here. Drop the gun. I see him. Roger, I got the suspect right here in between the building. He's wearing a green shirt, black pants.
The shots missed, but a taser didn't, and police took him into custody. After the arrest, they discovered the weapon was actually a black airsoft replica.
Leave the poor donut shops alone.
Is everyone suicidal suddenly?
Yeah, it kind of seems that way, doesn't it? At least in that case, pointing that at the officers.
Lucky he didn't get airholed for good.
A 36-year-old Texas man is facing serious charges after a series of unsettling and downright scary public outbursts, including the moment he threatened to stab a man at a park picnic table right in front of the man's wife and children. Corey Dellinger, who by all accounts is no picnic himself, reportedly lashed out at both strangers and family. He's especially one he accused of sleeping with his wife.
Oh, no.
The confrontation at the park happened last Wednesday, the same day Dellinger began targeting loved ones and random people in public. Investigators said he'd also been posting disturbing messages online for months leading up to that day. In one especially alarming post from March, he wrote, "Watch me murder my family member."
Oh, my God.
Yep, that's what he posted. As for the park incident, the father told police Dellinger walked up out of nowhere and started asking questions about his kids. Nothing concerning about that. When the man offered a polite handshake, Dellinger took it as a threat and said he was going to go get a gun and kill him, then walked off.
Okay, Jesus Christ.
In another bizarre encounter, a woman thought Dellinger might be a YouTuber when he stopped her, but he pulled out a knife and said he was going to, quote, get her.
Oh, my gosh.
At one point, witnesses say he was seen standing on a dam shouting threats at people below.
I want to know what's going on with his wife.
Yeah, did she sleep with the person?
Yeah.
I don't understand these people, Josh.
Yeah, that really set him off.
He's probably creating rift in other relationships. Because I'm going to be honest, if I was at the park with my husband, some guy came up, started accusing him of sleeping with I'd be like, oh, interesting.
You were working awful late a lot last week.
You would at least listen to that total stranger and their accusations?
Yeah, I'd be like, well, all right, what's up? I want some more details. And then I would realize he's crazy. And all right.
A 67-year-old New Jersey man who was accused of exposing himself at a local business earlier last week has done it again, this time in the comfort of his own apartment building, completely naked and armed with a dog whistle. Police say several residents called in after spotting Jeff Johnson strolling nude through the hallways with his last name swinging in the breeze. According to witnesses, he was also running around naked using a dog whistle to deliberately aggravate his neighbor's pets, like a streaking Pied Piper. It wasn't Johnson's first run-in with the law that week. His original arrest came after a woman reported a disturbing encounter at a local business about 11 a.m. on Monday. She told police a man walked up to her, pulled down the front of his pants, flashed the goods, and then ran off. He hopped into what she described as a white luxury vehicle. Apparently, this guy's got some cash.
He's got a nice car,
He's got a couple of them.
That doesn't really make sense.
Police tracked the car down to a garage and found it registered to Johnson. Later, they spotted him behind the wheel of a second luxury vehicle and pulled him over.
All the sick dong flashers that I've ever known in my life, and there's been a couple, they drove garbage vehicles.
Yeah, not
garbage.
This guy.
This guy's fancy.
He was detained, identified, shaved, and charged.
I bet I'm not alone in this. I've only ever seen a dog whistle in the cartoons.
Same.
Yep.
I've seen one once.
Are they legitimate?
I don't know. There was no dogs around. It was a science class, and our science teacher brought one in just to see if anybody could hear it. Nobody could hear it.
Oh, actually, I think they did something like that at my school too, Josh.
Did they? Yeah. So I have no idea if it really worked.
Next time we have Dr. Andrea in the room, we'll ask her about dog whistles.
A 20-year-old inmate recently pulled off a bold escape from a French maximum security prison by hiding inside another inmate's laundry bag.
Oh, sure. I think that's the oldest trick in the book. Well,
It's like out of the cartoons.
Laundry bag, not a laundry basket. So this is, I think, pretty original.
The breakout happened Friday and quickly grabbed national headlines over the weekend, sparking serious questions about how the young man, serving multiple sentences linked to organized crime, managed to just roll away. Turns out it was surprisingly simple. A fellow inmate was being released, and he just wheeled him right through the front gate in a laundry bag to a car waiting outside.
Okay, sure.
Guards didn't realize he was gone for another 24 hours. Authorities haven't released all the details yet, but sources say he squeezed into a visiting bag, a large canvas sack inmates use to carry their stuff when they're released. Strangely, no one questioned the oversized bag or the inmate's request for a cart to haul it out. It wasn't until the next day officials launched a nationwide manhunt, which ended yesterday with his arrest, or I should say Monday with his arrest. His accomplice, who could now be heading back to prison, is still on the run. This isn't the first time someone's tried something like this. In 2017, a Venezuelan woman tried to smuggle her boyfriend out of prison in a suitcase. That one didn't go quite as well. They were caught immediately.
Well, I'd like to believe that they're always being vigilant as hell, the guards and whatnot at a prison. But like any other job, I bet you just get bored and complacent after a while. Hey, can I borrow this big laundry basket that could easily fit a human being in and wheel it outside the what do you call it? Yeah, sure, go ahead.
One of the things they mentioned, they're very embarrassed. I saw, the warden talking about it. They are, really embarrassed. They said we're at they weren't trying necessarily to make excuses, but trying to explain. We're at 180% capacity. We're doing our best here.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I've heard that's been pretty bad lately.
But you'd think that would be more difficult. The commitment, though, to be smuggled out in a French guy's laundry. Boy. Ooh, boy. A Florida jail employee found himself making a surprise career pivot from guarding inmates to joining them. The 24-year-old detention officer had an unfortunate episode of accidental show and tell at work, dropping meth from his pocket as he headed out. Investigators say Dadrian Lipford's unexpected game of pocket peekaboo happened when he pulled out his keys near the exit checkpoint and a small baggie of white crystal slipped to the floor. Deputies scooped it up, ran a test, and confirmed it was about 0.4 grams of meth. He came back for his Friday shift only to be met with handcuffs. According to the sheriff's office, he admitted the meth was his, and he'd even used some of it while on duty. His employment at the jail was terminated that morning.
Well, that sucks.
I think I'd need to be on something if that was my job.
Absolutely.
That has to be very, very difficult as a corrections
Maybe
officer.
not meth, but something.
Well, some take the edge off.
They say the heart wants what it wants. And in the case of a 55-year-old Indian man, it just so happened to want his son's fiancée. The father of 6 and grandfather of 3 recently stunned his entire family by running off with a 22-year-old woman from his neighboring village, the same woman who was supposed to marry his 17-year-old son.
That's pretty cold.
Scandalous.
17. Ugh.
That is cold.
According to the wife, she had reservations about that age gap and the general weirdness of the whole situation. But the man pushed ahead with the wedding plans until one day, out of the blue, he called with an announcement he'd married the girl himself. Apparently, he'd been visiting the woman under the guise of wedding preparations. But it wasn't Tandoori tablecloths he was discussing, and his wife said she suspected it from the beginning. Not long after, the man left town for what he claimed was work, then called home to say he'd married the woman. What he didn't mention was that he'd also taken the family's savings and all the jewelry, leaving them broke. Just a couple months ago, a similar story made headlines when an Indian man eloped with his soon-to-be mother-in-law just 9 days before marrying her daughter.
Dude.
And like the previous story, they stole the family's life savings as well.
And this recent guy, this latest guy, is how old?
He is 55.
And his new bride is 17.
22.
Oh, I'm
the 22-year-old was supposed to marry his 17-year-old son.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Well, there you go.
A 33-year-old woman's behind bars after stealing a pregnant woman's car at a Florida car wash.
That's cold.
That's not cool.
And pretty much immediately crashing it.
When I noticed they put the vehicle in reverse and I heard the tires screeching and it was like an aggressive move, I knew this wasn't something typical or something you would expect.
Late Monday morning, an officer sitting at a traffic light spotted a white Hyundai Sonata, which matched a description of a recently stolen vehicle. Just moments later, that same car slammed into a gas-tanker truck, then clobbered a light pole for good measure. The officer rushed to the wreck, saw a woman slumped over in the driver's seat. When he tried to check on her, she suddenly got out, started yelling, and asked if he was going to shoot her. Then she said she wanted to fight. The officer pulled out a taser and won that fight. The car's owner, a 29-year-old pregnant woman, told police she was just a few feet away cleaning her floor mats when the theft happened. A witness said he saw someone walking quickly toward the car, hop in, and speed off, nearly hitting several people and causing over $20,000 in damage to the car wash. She hit everything.
Oh, my gosh.
After the car wash thief's not-so-clean getaway, she was taken to the county jail.
I don't know. There'd probably be a part of me that, especially if I was in the middle of, like, cleaning out my car, I would hope that they stole it before I finished, because that would be nice to get that insurance money and get a new car and not have to clean my car.
It's all clean at that point?
Yeah.
I like how you're willing to see the bright side.
It's mostly because I have to clean my car right now before baby comes, just because, probably shouldn't put an infant and whatever is going on in my vehicle. And I don't want to.
You got old cheeseburger wrappers as a diaper and things like that.
I can't bend over. It's too much work.
Based on a recent story, is there a pound of old meat sitting in your vehicle? Because if there's not, there's another silver lining for you, Ashley.
Cubby will show you a pound of old meat.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, there's not, thankfully.
Will Farrell, 58 today. Shout out to Metal Grinding, Deburring Jesus. We appreciate you listening this morning. And that's 93X News.
A live turtle in his pants.
Yes.
That's a lot to pack in your pants.
Randy Shaver on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Aranda slices a fly ball to left center field, headed towards the wall, but short, and the National League wins it in the first swing off.
Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
What's up, dudes? History.
I have a turtle in my pants.
A turtle in your pants. I heard that, actually. Some folks are saying history was made in last night's Big League All-Star game. It came down to a swing-off. By damn, it did. Came down to a home run hitting contest. We were talking about it earlier, and I mentioned that I had forgotten that this was the route they were going to take in All-Star games from now on if there's a tie at the end of the game. They threw this rule into the mix 2-3 years ago, and I fell asleep. I missed the whole friggin' thing.
Well, I mean,
a long ball game last night.
Yeah, I guess the question is, would you rather them just walk off the field in a tie? It's still just an exhibition game anyway.
Yeah, I'm not bothered one way or the other because of exactly what you said. It's an exhibition game.
I'm really not either. It wouldn't have bothered me at all if it would have been a tie. Who cares? But, I mean, this thing did add a little bit of intrigue at the end, and but you're right. It pushed it out at about another 35 minutes. So
the National League will go into the books as the winner of last night's ball game.
I think the winning players get money, and I was doing a little research on this. The players on the winning team get money, and the players on the losing team don't. So that might.
Is that true?
Yes, it is.
They don't get a dime. The losers don't get a dime.
I don't believe so. I think it's $25,000 per player. If what I found was correct. Again, that's not. I mean, in their standards, that's not a ton of money. But
that's just what these guys need is more money.
Brad, you're right, but you missed one little point. The losing team, they got a $25 Dave & Buster's gift card.
Oh, that's
yeah. So that's they're going home with something.
Yeah, right. It'll last you 10 minutes.
Somebody's going to play some skee ball.
They could just amend that and say if it's a tie, everybody gets half or something. I don't know.
Well, a listener texted in earlier, because we talked about this at 6:30, and I said, yeah, whatever, swing off. I slept through it in the first place, but if this is the way it's going to be in a tie game of every All-Star game from here forward, fine. And a listener texted in and said, I thought you'd hate it like you do the NHL shootout. And I said, well, this is a exhibition game.
Right, this is not a real game.
The NHL does the shootout thing all regular season long, and I've said it once, I'll say it again. A hockey game should be won or lost playing hockey. That's why I don't like the shootout. But this is only going to happen once every who knows how many years. So
I don't mind it either, but we just watched 3 hours of guys slugging homers. I think that they should change it up and have the pitchers have to try to hit a homer.
Well, then you're going to be there all night.
Right.
Or which team can lay down the best bunt?
A bunt off.
Oh, that'd be fun. I'd like that.
Well, in the real ball game, the National League had a 6-0 lead after 6 innings. Couple of dongs were launched, one by that asshat Pete Alonso of the New York Mets. And I'm
a big guy. I'm a big, strong guy.
Right. You're not that big. I saw you in the lineup last night. I saw you get introduced, Pete Alonso. You're not that big. And we got more on Pete here before we're done. Corbin Carroll of the Arizona Diamondbacks launched one. The American League comes all the way back to tie the pig in the 9th inning, and they were helped out by a 3-run home run by Brent Rooker.
Yeah.
Of the Athletics. So after 9 innings, as the new rule they put into play a couple years ago, they set up a yard sale showdown. A couple of coaches, if you missed it, a couple of coaches got behind the L screen that they use for batting practice, and they lobbed baseballs up there, just like what we see in the home run derby. Each player was given 3 swings and an unlimited amount of pitches to take them. It's the first time it's ever played out like this. Kyle Schwarber pulverized 3 home runs on 3 swings, and they handed him the All-Star Game MVP trophy, even though he went 0 for 2 in the actual ball game. It goes into the books. These are things that I didn't consider until I read a little further into it. It goes into the books without a winning or losing pitcher.
Yeah.
It's just bizarre.
Yeah.
Before the game, both managers had to require, that's not the word, both managers were required to submit a list of participants in case they go to a tie.
Yeah.
Now, knowing that starters usually shower and leave the ballpark well before the game is over, the managers opted for reserves. So that's why you saw Schwarber out there as opposed to Ohtani. That's why you saw that dude from the Miami Marlins, whatever the hell his name is, out there instead of, I don't know, name another power hitter in the National League.
Right.
It was interesting. Yeah. Freddie Freeman or Pete Alonso. It was interesting.
Yeah,
it was. I'm a big, strong guy.
It was interesting, but again, I agree with Dana. I just watched 3 hours of baseball. It was fun. Enjoyed it. It's okay if they tie. It's not going to change my life one way or the other.
Well, it gives the people that paid a lot of money a little extra entertainment.
I suppose, but
yeah,
I just
and you want to draw in. They always have to have something cooking. That's the thing. Is you can't these days in any major sport. You can't just walk away. You've got to do something to grab somebody. That's the thing these days.
In a sport where they were so concerned about how long the game takes, and they have a clock to speed the game up, now you want to extend it in a game that doesn't mean anything. I guess
that is pretty hilarious.
Doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but that's the way it is.
As far as our Twins players go, Byron Buxton got a hit in the ball game and scored a run. Joe Ryan looked great in his one clean inning, gaining 2 strikeouts.
That Buxton hit was kind of, he's a pull hitter for the most part, and that was a smash down the right field line, and you got a chance to see it. I was just like holding my breath like, oh my God, don't pull anything, because he was just trucking, man.
Torres is in his 4th year at his 2nd straight All-Star game. This one's punched down the line. Buxton with a base hit. Turns around 99. Turns the corner and has a double. And the American League gets the tying run to the plate.
Hell yeah, Buck. Participation trophies for everyone.
Yeah.
Is what a couple of our listeners are saying. And by the way, sorry to correct you. One listener said they got to have a winner in the All-Star game because the All-Star game determines home field advantage in the... No, it does. They don't do that anymore.
Not anymore.
They did that for a few years. They don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
That was actually the incentive in the All-Star game. That was the built-in incentive.
Yeah, for a stretch of time it was.
Yes,
yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
So there you go.
So now a day of rest, actually 2 days of rest, and then they start again Friday. And the Twins open in... Couldn't have picked a better place to open up for the second half against a team that is the worst in baseball, going to Colorado. So,
by the way, I felt
from there to play the Dodgers though for 3.
Yeah, well, nice warm up.
Yeah, good warm up.
By the way, I felt bad for the one Colorado Rocky All-Star who was out on the ball. Hunter Goodman. He's a catcher. He had an opportunity.
Good player.
Is he? Well, I mean, it was just kind of fitting that. Here's a Colorado Rocky. These guys are terrible. Of course, you got to have one player out there in the All-Star game. So this catcher, Hunter Goodwin, had one opportunity to throw somebody out, and he launched it into center field.
Oh, really? Darn it. It was his time to shine. He was probably just so excited. He overthrew it. Oh, poor guy.
He truly is the one shining light offensively, though, for the Rockies, and they're terrible.
Now, back to Joe Ryan. Somebody put a mic in his face while he was hanging out there in Atlanta for the All-Star festivities and asked him about the possibility of being traded. And he said some things that, I mean, I don't take any offense to it, but he said some things that maybe some Twins fans don't want to hear.
I don't know, it's fun for me. I mean, July is awesome. I think everyone in the clubhouse gets excited just seeing where guys are going to go around the league, and you don't know, and I think that's exciting. And being someone that could get traded, it would be exciting. I mean, I do love Minnesota, and I love where I'm at, so it would be sad, definitely hard to go, but at the end of the day, it's never up to me.
Well, he's got a baby on the way. He's got to get as much money as he can.
Doesn't sound like he's locked into being here, does it?
Not really.
Well, I mean, I think he's realistic, though, too. I mean, you're looking at where the Twins sit right now. You're looking at the ownership situation and where it is. There are a lot of questions surrounding this franchise, through the end of this year and into next. And I mean, you're going to get traded somewhere to a team that's contending. You're not going to get traded to Colorado, So, I mean, that's why it's an exciting time for some of these players.
Right.
That, they're not going to go someplace that's not interested in winning at this point. Mm-hmm. So.
Like I said, I take no offense to it, but there are some people out there, if a player doesn't just fall all over their current situation and express their love for the town they're playing in, and people get offended. He is being very realistic.
Buck was asked the same question and said, I'm not going anywhere. I've got a trade. They can't trade me. No trade clause. Ryan's a little bit different, but I cannot imagine the Twins would do that, because if you are going to build this team back up, you've got to have that pitcher in your rotation. You just do.
Right.
Can't be traded. I got a no trade clause. I'm a Minnesota Twin for the rest of my life. So that's the best feeling in the world, knowing I get to walk into a clubhouse and it's going to say Twins for the rest of my life.
So you won't leave it. You're going to stay with it.
I'm a Twin. That's home.
That's great.
I want to hang out with Buck.
I think he's
Me
going to.
too.
I want to hang out with him.
It sounds to me like he might live here after he's done. Is that the impression you guys get? It just feels like he is a guy that, we've seen a lot of players do that. The Twins organization, well, they'll stick around, they'll stay.
I certainly hope so.
It just feels like that's the way he wants to go.
I want to go to a movie. I want to go to a swingers party or something with Buck.
Oh my God!
He
Two very different things.
I want to go somewhere.
He's one of the top 10 coolest people in Minnesota.
Yeah. Absolutely.
100%.
And he talks a lot about how much his kids love it here. His family loves it here.
Yeah, exactly. He raised his kids here. I don't see him moving.
I want to get a tattoo.
He lives in Georgia in the off season.
I want to get a tattoo with him. I want to. What other activities could we
want to get?
Maybe a tandem bike around Lake Nokomis?
Yeah. How about learning a skill, like whittling or something like that?
You guys take a cooking class together.
I'd take a cooking class. I'd ride a tandem bicycle. Learn a skill. I don't know. Come up with something better than whittling. I mean, what else?
I can't think of anything better than whittling. What a skill that would be. What about just some sort of woodwork in general?
I want to use social media to force him to know me. That's what I want to do with Byron Buxton. So you guys have to show me how to turn on. This is funny. So that listener texted in and said, hey, at the All-Star game last night, they had to determine a winner. It can't be a tie because that's how they determine home field advantage in the World Series. And then we said, well, no, they don't do that anymore. And the listener texted back and said, well, excuse me. Sorry for living, he said.
I love you.
I guess I'm just the dumbest son of a bitch in town. Well, we didn't mean it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
You did stand to be corrected, so.
Yeah, I want to make Buck part of my life. And it sounds like I'm not the only one. What do you want to do with him, Josh?
Well, not a tandem bicycle around Lake Nokomis.
Do they make one with 3 seats on the sunbed?
Oh, man.
What did you say?
Possibly. I said
possibly.
I don't know.
Oh, I think you said wrestling. You wanted to wrestle.
They also have those giant swan paddle boats. You guys could go ride one of those around the lake.
No, those are exhausting.
Yeah, those suck.
I've never been on one.
Dude, you do it once and you're like, why? It's so much work.
What was the deal? What? Oh, the paddle boats.
Mm-hmm.
I always see those when I go up to Spicer, my husband's cabin. Everybody always has those in the front lawn trying to get rid of them.
Well, excuse me. Just trying to live over here.
Go ahead. You try one of those and get back to us on your thoughts.
That reminds me of when I agreed to jump on board one of those, what do they call that? Pedal pub.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
On a hot summer day, you're trying to go uphill in one of those?
Nothing worse than trying to drink and exercise at the same time.
Dude, you could never get me on one of those.
Well, see, I didn't get it. When I watched them go by a few times, this is 15 years ago or so, when I watched them go by on the street, I didn't really believe that the human beings sitting there were powering the vehicle. I thought it was a joke or something. So I was invited, and I sit down, and they put the beers in front of you, 10, 12 of us around this table, and it's the pedal pub thing. And then when I realized, oh, my God, we really have to pedal this friggin' thing? Okay. And I said to myself, okay, there's 10, 12 of us. How hard could this really be? It was hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So after 10 minutes, I noticed there was one chair where there are no pedals. And I said, because I was the oldest person there, I said, I'm taking that seat, and there's no argument.
Yep, that's the pro move.
I said, move, whoever you are, move. I'm taking the no pedal seat, and that's where I sat the rest of the time. I really didn't buy it. I didn't think it was legitimately powered by the people, and it was awful. Awful. In the 10 minutes that I was pedaling, it was one of the worst experiences of my life.
Who came up with those?
You don't see them much anymore.
Good.
Fishing with Byron Buxton. People are saying, Josh, he likes to fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a great idea.
Oh, yeah. I think they did the Byron Buxton fishing lure a couple of years ago as a giveaway.
I want to poach fish, though. I don't want to just go fishing. I want to be a poacher with Byron Buxton. Some illegal activity.
Why?
Because it would be a standout story. It was something that I could tell my grandkids. Not only
I got arrested.
Yeah, we didn't just go fishing. We poached, hundreds of fish, and we were arrested for it.
Do you want to enter a fishing contest and load one of your walleyes up with some weights
in there? Yeah.
That might be kind of cool if you were a cellmate with Byron Buxton.
Yeah.
Imagine that, the bonding you could do there.
I want to have an experience, but I want it to be original. I want it to be unique. All right, so here we are at the midway point of the baseball season, right, with the All-Star game wrapped up. They start up the second half on Friday. Yahoo.com put together their mid-season power rankings. Number one at the top of the list, of course, is who?
The Dodgers.
No.
Really?
No, Randy, come on. Of all people,
Detroit?
Detroit.
Oh,
yeah.
I still think the Dodgers are super dangerous.
Well, this is the
I get Detroit. Yes,
Yeah.
I get that. But
Yeah,
I automatically think Dodgers. Talking about teams that can win the World Series.
You have to remember, and excuse me, I couldn't find my mute button. The midseason, any power rankings considers the last week or so of your games. So Detroit is number one. Chicago is number two. Houston, number 3. 4 are the Dodgers. 5, Toronto. 6, Milwaukee. 7, Philadelphia. 8, New York. 9, Boston. They've won 10 in a row going into the break.
Yeah.
10 is the New York Yankees. The Minnesota Twins fell in at the 18th spot in their power rankings. 6-3 in their last 9 games going into the break. Only 4 games out of the last American League wildcard spot. But as we were just talking about trades, they have several assets that playoff teams covet at the deadline in Johan Duran, Griffin Jackson. We mentioned Joe Ryan. Now, I don't know what this will do for you. The Twins have the 3rd easiest remaining schedule of all Major League Baseball teams.
Mm-hmm.
At least on paper.
Which, I guess, if you're thinking about the wild card position, is that doable? I mean, that maybe gives you pause in deciding if you trade or not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, the trade deadline, I think, is the 31st, like it usually is. So the next 10 days are going to be huge. I mean, if they go 3-7, they're going to sell. If they go 7-3, maybe they don't. So
here we go. Synchronized swimming with Byron Buxton.
Yes.
With the nose plug.
Yeah.
And I want you to wear the outfits. You know those fancy outfits the ladies wear?
Josh.
I'm sorry, you do what?
You would look adorable.
The outfits that synchronized swimmers wear?
Yeah, have you seen those?
I don't. I guess I'd have to.
Yes, with your hair. Well, Josh doesn't have hair, but with your hair in a pretty bun.
Yeah.
And the nose plugs and the outfit.
Josh knows all about pretty buns.
Well, I've worked with Randy Shaver for 2 decades.
That would be a unique experience. Byron Buxton and myself learning to synchronize swim together and then putting on a performance.
Yes.
Say for some folks at an old folks home or something like that. We put on a little show.
Jack, come on over.
Now, alongside Jennifer Lopez, of course, Alex Rodriguez is one of the new owners of our beloved Timberwolves. But at his core, of course, he's a baseball guy. And he'd love to get into the Hall of Fame someday, despite being accused of using drugs and all that overblown nonsense. Anyway, people have accused Alex of kissing the commissioner's ass. What the hell is happening? Okay.
Drum solo.
Yeah. People have accused Alex Rodriguez of kissing baseball's commissioner's ass to try and score some points with the boss. The commissioner, of course, Rob Manfred Singenson. Now, Manfred Singenson is, in the opinion of many baseball fans, one of the worst commissioners in all of professional sports.
Manfred Johnson.
Rodriguez doesn't care. He wants to get into the Hall. So A-Rod recently said, I'm a big Rob Manfred guy. I think he deserves a lot of credit with the changes he's made the last 2 or 3 years to really save our game. He probably belongs in Cooperstown, is what Alex Rodriguez said about Manfred Singenson.
If he wasn't trying to curry favor, I would have thought he said that with a gun to his head or something.
Unfortunately for Alex, the commissioner of baseball has no say over whether he gets in the Hall of Fame or not.
Oh, that's what you think, Brad Ryder.
No.
Anyway, I mean, folks thought it was a straight-up ass-kiss move. And it is kind of funny. Bro Bible did a little tally of the ways that Rob Manfredson has saved baseball, quote, saved baseball since he became commissioner 10 years ago. Let's see. Here's what Bro Bible, picking on the commissioner, had to say. He lost their deal with ESPN. He blamed the city of Oakland for the team leaving town. And he suggested that A's fans should just start rooting for the Giants.
That's not how it works. Well, I guess in my case.
It says the world's biggest Bills fan in Minnesota.
Remember, Manfred Sinjinson was the guy who was mad at Bat Boys and Bat Girls at the World Baseball Classic for taking too long to fetch the bats? He was to blame for the lockout at the start of the 2022 season that shortened it to 60 games. He called the World Series trophy a piece of metal instead of punishing Houston Astros players for cheating in 2017. So, I mean, whatever, but it is fun that A-Rod just basically said, I'm in love with the man. I like A-Rod, don't get me wrong. I know a lot of people still like to hate on him, but he comes off like a decent enough guy, in my opinion. I like the fact that he's involved with the Timberwolves. Maybe I'll end up regretting it, but right now, I like the fact that he and J-Lo are doing their thing, despite me. They dated for... Did they marry?
I don't know if they got married.
But yeah, it is cool that they're still so amicable.
Yeah. And running a basketball team.
And they sit there at half court and interact with fans and stuff. That's cool.
Axe throwing with Byron Buxton. People that we're wondering what activity can we do with Byron Buxton because we like him so much and we know he's one of the coolest people in town. Axe throwing, Josh, would you try that?
I'd try it. I don't think I'd do very well at it.
It's a lot harder than you think it is.
Would it be like those videos where they throw it and it bounces off the target and comes right back at their brain?
Yeah, probably.
By the way, Rob Manfred is confident. He says he's confident the Twins will be sold and soon.
Yeah.
Manfred Johnson.
Anyone know anything about that?
I don't, other than once the, and I can never remember how to pronounce his name, the Ishiba. What?
Ishiba?
Yeah, that.
The Phoenix Suns guy.
Right.
And his brother.
Once he's out of the picture, that opened everything back up, and that's why they think this thing's going to go pretty quick.
Okay. Josh, how do I play Double Dutch Rudder with Byron Buxton? What is that a game that?
I don't know. I don't know if we should go into that.
That's a Google thing, or let's see. Double.
Save your search history.
Is that a game that I'd want to play?
Careful how you Google it.
I don't know if you'd want to, but yeah, if you're on your work computer, maybe don't Google that.
Incognito mode.
Barsaw Jesus said, you could do something he's very familiar with and just go to physical therapy with him.
You prick!
Spend time together at physical therapy.
Dick thing to say.
May not have to wait too long.
Go to an escape room with Byron Buxton. Pottery. Well, I got plenty of old Rush records.
Yeah, you can play plenty of rock to go along with.
Yeah.
What is that, like Color Me Mine? What is that pottery place where you can go and
we
paint
got one
little
of those.
bowls?
Oh,
yeah.
All I remember is
paint your plate.
That'd be so cute, and then you guys could trade them at the end, make each other some bowls.
Make
or
each
plates.
other a bowl.
Or you do that thing where you sit across the table from somebody and you each paint a picture of you. You're looking at them, you paint a picture, like a portrait photo of each other.
I know what I want. I want to restore a classic muscle car with him. That's what I want to do.
All I remember...
Couples massage.
I had one of those.
I couldn't do that.
I had one of those up in, what do you call that town, Lutzen, on my honeymoon. We had a couples massage, and it was friggin' hilarious.
Oh, was it nice, though?
Well, I mean, yeah, any massage is nice, except for, as we've noted before many times on this program, a sports massage is the worst pain you'll ever go through. Yes. And I almost fought the woman who gave me a sports massage because I was so friggin' furious at what she had done to me.
I've only had one massage, and that's what it was. My wife got it for me, and I had to ask the lady if I had upset her in some way. I don't know why she was causing me that much pain. Was this your first marriage or second marriage for the honeymoon?
This most recent one.
Oh,
how many am I on now?
This is the second one.
This was the most recent one. We went to Lutzen, and the wife signed us up for a couples massage, and we couldn't stop laughing the entire time. First off, we weren't the only two people in the room who got naked.
Oh, seriously?
The masseuse got naked, too.
Oh, I thought you meant
That would make me feel more comfortable.
So you did get naked?
Oh, hell yeah. It's the day I was born.
Remember the level of hell I got from some of our sales guys that I didn't get naked during that massage?
Yeah, they
One
thought
of
you
them
were
called me a prude.
Wait, did you keep your shirt
Don't
on?
be such a friggin' prude, he said. Josh kept his jeans on when he had a massage.
I didn't know you were supposed to get naked.
What?
And even if I did, I wouldn't have got naked.
Oh, my gosh. At least take the jeans off.
I wore 2 pairs of jeans, actually.
I've always heard them say disrobe to your comfort level. So Josh is like, all right, well, I'm comfortable now. Let's get on the table.
Now I'm going to leave my jacket on.
He takes off his hat. Good.
I wonder what the masseuse thought.
So my wife and I walk into the massage parlor. Why don't you call a massage parlor? What movie? Slapshot. My wife and I walk into the massage parlor, and we kind of peeked into the room that we were going to be in for the couple's massage, and there's 318 candles lit, right? Mm-hmm. And the lady said, go ahead and remove your clothes like I have. And so we did. And we got under the sheets. She said, lay on your stomach, you know. So we both laid on our stomachs in separate beds, little single beds right next to each other. And before the lady started anything, she said, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask the two of you to hold hands.
Nope. I'm out. I'm not doing that.
And my wife turned to me and she said, here we go. I mean, it was nice, but it was very hippy-dippy and spiritual this and energy that.
You know, maybe it would be fun to like laugh the whole time.
Oh,
like
yeah,
you
we
were
giggled
saying.
our
That would be
asses
a blast, I guess.
Giggled ourselves sideways.
What do you think about this one? Buford T. Jesus said, Ouija. Use a Ouija board with Buck.
I won't do that again.
Oh, I think that'd be a blast. I bet he'd be very funny.
I'd like to do anything, like we've stated, I'd like to do anything with Byron Buxton. I need him to be my friend, but I'd like it to be a unique experience. And some of these ideas are great, but I won't do a Ouija board again. I did that once in 1997, and I wanted to strangle everyone in the room to death.
I don't think I've ever heard that story.
It was so stupid.
Oh, I was hoping it was cool.
It was a radio gig. The guys I was working with at the time were friends with some nut job, psychic, ghost, whisperer, moron. And they all believed in it. Everyone else on the show thought this was so interesting, when anyone with common sense knows that that's all absolute nonsense, right?
Yes.
Right. So they said, well, why don't you go, and I was the low man in the group, you go to a seance. Is that what the word is?
A seance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ouija board? What did we start talking about?
We were talking about a Ouija board, but a seance would be
same
related.
Same thing. So they said, you go to this seance with this psychic idiot and her stupid friends and hit record on the recording machine and see what you pick up, as we're all going to sit and try to bring some dead guy back from beyond, right? Not a single sound happened for 3.5 or 4 hours while they sat there saying stupid seance-y things, and there I sat, and there I sat, and there I sat, and nothing happened. But periodically, some of them would act like something happened, even though nothing happened. What was that? Mm-hmm. Did you feel that sudden temperature change?
That'd be me.
No, let me go home. All right. We'll come up with something to do with Byron Buxton by the end of this segment. Snowshoeing.
Oh, boy. That's
too much work.
Yeah, that's not a lot of
awful.
fun. I remember that unit in school. I hated it.
Go to an apple orchard.
Oh, no, that's your and Josh's thing.
No. We want to do the fall color tour.
We're doing the fall color tour.
Okay.
Yeah, someday. All right, back to Pete Alonso of the New York Mets. He believes that pitchers and hitters should be allowed to fight each other hockey style. Now, don't give yourself too much credit for that idea, Pete Alonso. Fans have been saying that for 75 years.
I don't think people should get ejected after charging them out and fighting. So I think it should be hockey style. So no teams, no nothing, because that's when people can seriously get hurt. But if the pitcher or hitter or whoever charges, and if they don't want to fight, they take a knee, and then they don't have to fight. If someone charges the mound, it's 1v1 hockey style, and then that's it.
Could you understand what he was saying? Because he was speaking purely through his nose.
A little bit.
I think you want to, what did he say? If you want to go out and charge them, of course, these days, if a baseball scrap happens, they more or less just shout at each other. There's some shouting, and then here come the bullpens, and it's just so dumb. Pete Alonso says, I think if you want to go out and charge them on, then you should be able to.
Well, you can go do that if you want to.
Well, he means without being separated by anybody else. He means a one-on-one fight is what he means.
See.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
he says, but if one guy doesn't want to fight, you just take a knee. But if they both agree, pitcher and hitter, then it should be one-on-one like you see in a hockey game. If any other player had said this, I would have been just in agreement. But since Pete Alonso said it, I'm aggravated.
I'm a big guy. I'm a big, strong guy.
He seems like he has anger issues.
I bet Pete Alonso records himself while working out and then makes his friends watch the videos at house parties.
Oh,
I bet he works out with sunglasses on, Pete
that
Alonso.
is such a brutal insult.
I bet he has a barbed wire tattoo somewhere on his body.
It doesn't go all the way around either.
Nope. I like that idea. Like I said, baseball fans have been saying that for 75 years.
Yes, that would be so cool.
Would you be cool with that, Randy Shaver and Brad Ryder? They just duke it out like you do in hockey.
I guess if that's, I just
don't
can't
know.
imagine. I can't imagine that the pitchers club would allow someone to attack their pitcher.
Every sport needs more blood.
Hockey is a physical sport, so that's why it feels more natural in that sport. Baseball is not. It just doesn't feel.
Plus you're wearing gear in hockey to somewhat protect yourself. In this case, you're not.
Can you imagine your pitcher's done for the season because they didn't take the knee?
Maybe they can tag somebody else in. Like, they can choose somebody out in the field that can fight for them.
Now you're talking.
There was definitely some times when I played fast pitch that I wanted to haul off and hit somebody. I would have loved the chance to do that.
We even had fights in slow pitch softball.
That's embarrassing.
Friggin' riot. One dude got launched into a fence, like shoved so hard into a fence, but it was like in the cartoons. His sunglasses kind of stayed where they were for a while before they dropped it. He got shoved so hard, his sunglasses came off his head, but yet stayed stationary in the air, like in Scooby-Doo before finally. What about tandem water skiing with Byron Buxton?
Oh, yeah. Maybe you up on his shoulders or something?
Yeah, that's what I pictured right away. All right, speaking of hockey, one of the most original gimmicks in all of professional sports belongs to the National Hockey League, and that is the emergency backup goalie deal, where some dude who sharpens skates for a living and plays beer league gets a call to make an appearance in a real NHL game because all the goalies are sick or hurt. There's been some fun stories over the years, and the videos are a lot of fun if you can find them. According to their new collective bargaining agreement that goes into effect next season, I believe, this goes into effect next season, they're going to change the emergency backup goalie program. Now each team will be required to employ a full-time traveling replacement to play in the event of multiple injuries or illnesses.
That sounds like a hell of a gig.
Yeah. That's like the backup quarterback who gets to travel and knows he's not on the roster to play.
That's a damn shame that this is going to be altered. And again,
you want the dock worker to be pulled off the dock at the last second to come play. Yeah,
I want my old story. Yeah, I want my old beer league hockey goalie to get a call. Right, and I'm watching television. Well, Christ, that's Vinny. That kind of a thing.
Right.
Well, with emergency goalies, Nick, you've always said that empty net goals shouldn't count. Should a goal count if it's against the dock worker who just got pulled off the street and thrown into the rink?
I'm also going to say no.
Okay.
That doesn't count. When you score a goal against a dude who spends his days cutting hair or something, But anyway, it's a fun gimmick. And again, I believe this kicks in next year. So there's a chance that this upcoming hockey season, maybe we get one more. I could be wrong. Maybe it's effective immediately. I thought it was next year. It is very rare. An emergency backup goalie has entered a game just 6 times in the 13,000 some odd regular season games over the past 10 seasons. It's very rare. But it's always been fun. And after this coming season, we may never see it again. Marc-Andre Fleury has joked about now that he's retired, he would love to be the Pigs emergency. But who said it?
Not a bad idea.
Well, it's actually illegal. You have to have like less than 80.
All right, okay.
You can't have played within 3 years.
Something like that, right. So who said what a gig? You're right. I mean, the questions now are, how much do you pay a guy or a gal who just flies with the team over and over and over again, NHL city to NHL city, as the emergency backup goalie, and odds are he or she is not going to see any time? What do you pay them?
God, and you get all the perks of the travel, the luxury hotels, the team meals.
See, that's the question, is do you give them all of those things?
My son's coach suited up for the Wild once. Didn't make it in the game, but they called him as an emergency goalie. And
he was sitting somewheres in the locker room?
Yeah, or like in the stands or whatever they put him. Yeah, they just...
But he put on the gear at one point or another?
I guess so.
It's pretty cool.
Did he get to keep his jersey and stuff?
I don't know. I didn't know the guy super well. I mean, he coached my son's team. We weren't buddies or anything, but but that was pretty cool. I mean, obviously the team was super excited.
That's how you could eliminate the empty net goal, Nick. You could change the rule, and instead of pulling your goalie, you have to put that guy in.
Dude!
Then you can still have an extra attacker. There you go.
That's awesome.
Absolutely brilliant, Brad Ryder.
That'd be so cool to see.
Yeah.
Like when you're down by one with a minute and a half left, pull the goalie, put the emergency goal out there, but you still get the extra
Still
attacker.
get the extra attacker, and you're trying to score a goal.
Solve the problem.
And what if they have to wear their work uniform? Like it's like a Valvoline outfit or something.
This just gets better and better. Dude's got a backwards baseball cap on, and his shirt says Jiffy Lube.
Yeah, how cool would that be?
Brad, if that was the case, teams would cheat that system so bad.
Of course they would.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome, though.
All right, this is an ongoing thing. We're trying to come up with a unique activity to do with Byron Buxton because we're such big fans of his. One listener is recommending, Josh, that we go on I'll get it, ayahuasca trip.
Ayahuasca?
With, how do you say it?
Ayahuasca?
Ayahuasca trip with Byron Buxton, just like Karen did.
Sure. I've heard people, they really learn a lot about themselves doing something like that. What about this from corporate metalhead Jesus? You guys should buy a bed and breakfast in Vermont, lovingly restore it, and then one hot day, Buck takes his shirt off and you lock eyes. The tension that's been building culminates to a hesitant kiss, which gives way to a fiery affair. Then, 40 years from now, Buck is bedside holding your hand, recalling memories of your life together, hosting couples retreats at your cute B&B as you pass. Do that. Or host a hot dog eating contest.
That's the most beautiful thing I've heard all day.
Very well.
I loved watching you just take all that in.
That is a beautiful story.
A listener has texted in. Yeah, I read this yesterday. The current emergency backup goalie for the Man Bear Pigs is Don Beaupre's son, Connor Beaupre. Man, Donnie Beaupre was a great goalie when he was young.
Yes, he was.
Oh, I loved watching Donnie Beaupre and Gilles Malache when I was a kid. They were a great combination.
Yes, he was.
And Donnie Beaupre was, 19 years old or something when he made his debut with the North Stars in the playoffs, and he was just a badass. Where was I going with this? A guy I used to play beer league with. He was a goalie when he was young. But then he skated out for us because he got tired of wearing the gear, and he was too out of shape to wear the gear anymore, to be totally honest with you. But he pulled this on us once. He's like, not that long ago we were talking about great Golden Gopher hockey players. We were talking about like some top 25 Golden Gopher hockey players of all time, and we mentioned the goalie who won the first of their back-to-back championships in the early 2000s, Adam Hauser.
Yeah.
Okay? This dude that I played beer league with, again, he was a goalie when he was young. One night we're out at the bar and he pulls this on us. We were talking hockey this, hockey that, and he says, yeah, that's not the way it was when I was backing up Hauser on the Golden Gophers. And we said, okay, hang on a sec. We knew he was a very good goalie when he was young. But we said, wait a minute. Backed up Hauser. What do you mean? Yeah, I was the backup when they won that first title. And we said, dude, we watched every game back then. You were not the... Well, okay, he says, I was like the fifth goalie on the JV team, which was a true story. But he called himself the backup to Adam Hauser.
Come on.
Don't do that.
Back up to the backup to the backup.
To the backup, to the backup, to the backup. Yes, he was legitimately on their JV roster, but he called himself the... You can't get away with that with a crowd as bright as me and my old beer league hockey buddies. What's it say here? Oh, the rankings. Do we need to get into this? The NFL all-quarter century team. Do you feel like we need to get into this?
I'm not in football mode other than picking fantasy teams.
That's why I asked.
Yeah.
CBS Sports came up with the best players of the last 25 years. Well, someone remind me to bring this up when we get closer to football.
Yeah.
The Washington Commodores, formerly the Washington Redskins, are going to go ahead and officially retire all-time great wide receiver Art Monk's number 81 jersey this upcoming football season. I think that's nice.
Yep.
I think that's nice. I was an Art Monk fan. Terrific wide receiver.
Wasn't he part of a trio of receivers there at the time? Or am I thinking Miami, maybe? I'm thinking there was a group of receivers.
Well, the Redskins at the time had the Fun Bunch.
The Fun Bunch. There you go. Okay.
The Miami Dolphins had, I think they called themselves the Three Amigos.
Yes.
And I'm going to try to name all of them. I believe with the Redskins at the time, it was Art Monk, Gary Clark.
Yes.
And I don't know if I can name the third. Maybe the third was Clint Didier?
No.
Okay, there's a third. The Three Amigos was Mark Clayton, Mark Duper.
Yes.
And, God dang it,
Martin Short.
I love Martin Short.
Yes, it was Martin Short.
Chevy Chase.
Chevy Dan.
It's amazing.
God dang it, can you look that up? Who were the Fun Bunch? Maybe a listener knows. I'm missing one on each end of the Fun Bunch and the Three Amigos.
Well, it says here the Fun Bunch included Art Monk, Virgil Say, Charlie Brown.
I remember Charlie Brown, not Virgil Say.
I don't remember that.
Gary Clark isn't in there?
I don't see Gary Clark in there.
Okay. Oh, it was a long time ago.
I also see Alvin Garrett, Rick Walker, and Don Warren.
Yeah.
I remember Don Warren. They were receivers and tight ends all during that era. Who were the Three Amigos? Mark Clayton, Mark Duper, and Jimmy Cephalo? I don't friggin' know.
I don't know.
How about the three receivers that Dan Fouts threw to during the Air Coryell era? Go.
Kellen Winslow.
Well,
Charlie Joyner.
I'm specifically talking about the three wide receivers.
Oh, Charlie
of course,
Joyner.
Charlie Joyner. I'll give you. Well, we already mentioned Kellen Winslow. We're talking about just the receivers.
John Jefferson?
John Jefferson,
Yeah.
Ashley.
Look at me.
And
Ashley's got a John Jefferson jersey in her closet.
His initials were W and C.
Winston Churchill.
That's a hell of a guess.
Wow.
Yes. That's a hell of a guess.
Well, can you imagine the speeches he'd give at halftime?
The speeches.
Oh, he'd rile that
we
team
will fight in the air.
Wes Chandler.
Wes Chandler. We will fight on the beaches. We will fight with growing confidence and growing strength in the air.
Oh, hey.
We will defend our island, whatever the cost may be. Hey, Brady, don't interrupt me. This is an intro from an Iron Maiden song, so I remember this. We will never surrender. And it's the intro to what song, Josh? Go.
The Trooper?
Aces High, for Christ's sake. Others are saying Nat Moore was in there with the Miami Dolphins.
Nat Moore.
Didn't I give you an Aces High poster?
Yes, you did. And I have it framed in my bar. Nat Moore.
Yes.
He was there, but he was gone by the
No, he was the third amigo.
He was in there? Okay, I'll go along with Nat Moore. He was an old man by then. Nat Moore.
If I remember right, didn't they call those two guys from the Dolphins the Marx Brothers, too?
Yes, Mark Clayton and Mark Duper.
Yeah,
yes.
Like that was their nickname. I didn't remember the.
God, I love all this old school stuff. I just get boner.
Yeah, you get a little horny.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Don't do that with Buxton. Short-lived friendship, if that happens.
Art Monk will be included, or how do you say it? His number will be retired this year by the Washington Commodores. He's already in their Ring of Fame. He's already in the Hall of Fame. No one's worn the number since he retired in '93 out of respect.
Wow.
And he's a three-time Super Bowl champion.
Yes, he is.
So there you go. Oh, you know what else? Something out of respect that just came to mind. I neglected to mention this when we were talking baseball. Who's the Phillies pitcher that got screwed out of the All-Star game this year?
Is it Zach Wheeler?
I think that's right. But people thought this kid should have been there instead of that miserable.
Or is it Sanchez?
It's one of the two. I can't remember. But he got screwed out of this year's All-Star game. Did you know that the Phillies still gave him his $500,000 All-Star bonus?
Oh, really?
Yeah. I thought that was a wonderful story.
Who cares then? I wouldn't mind.
I don't see Zach Wheeler listed as pitchers yesterday, so it's got to be Zach Wheeler. And he is having an incredibly great
That's got to be the answer. But I thought that was a really nice effing thing. They know he got boned, so they still gave him his $500,000 All-Star bonus.
Yeah, Christopher Sanchez was the one.
Yeah, part of the reason some of those guys get boned is there's still that rule there that every team's got to have one player.
Right.
And some of those guys end up getting screwed because of that.
People are texting in saying the best wide receiver trio of all time was three deep. The Vikings had Randy Moss, Jake Reed, and Chris. No, they're not the greatest ever. They're pretty good, but they weren't the greatest ever.
I got that poster at Burger King.
You can.
Oh, that's awesome.
They were only great because of their quarterback, the greatest quarterback in Viking history, Randall Cunningham.
That's when the kids' meals came with cool stuff. That is so sweet.
Did you ever know you got the poster at Burger King?
Yeah.
Did everyone ever notice that every catch that Jake Reed made, he also almost dropped? Watch the video of the man.
That's not true.
It's true. Every catch he made, he also almost dropped. Kadri Ismail. Don't text me about Kadri Ismail.
So Nick, though, if you think about that, two of those guys are in the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah.
So what other trio would have two guys in the Hall of Fame?
I'll go with we already mentioned them once earlier this morning. Yeah. Rush.
What trio?
Rush. Boy, you guys are. Yeah.
No.
I'm teasing Randy Shaver. I'm fine. You can call them the greatest. Yeah.
I think you'd have
Lynn Swann and John Stallworth, or is John Stallworth in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah. I don't know if John Stallworth is in. Lynn Swann is in.
I'm teasing. Maybe they are the greatest. I don't care one way or the other. But I am surprised that nobody got my Rush joke.
I got your Rush joke.
You guys are the best. All right, you got Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder. Thanks for every damn thing, and we will wrap with you soon enough.
All right, sounds good.
We'll be back in a few minutes here on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
Hey, podcast pals. It's Dana from the Half-Assed Morning Show. As always, we appreciate you checking on the podcast, and it's all brought to you by our friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. The July heat means it's officially swass and crotch soup season. Gross! It also means our AC units are being put to the test. I recently went through an issue myself, and I was so happy to have my friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning in my corner. They gave me real options, didn't make me feel like a dummy for not knowing a single thing about HVAC systems, and let me choose what worked best for my home and my budget. No pressure, just comfort my way. Enjoy the show, thanks for listening, and stay cool this summer with Standard.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states. Mic Drop. Hosted by former Navy SEAL Mike Ridlin. It's raw.
Any single time that you left the wire, you could lose 4 guys.
It's unfiltered.
That was the most horrible screaming I'd ever heard. Taking a hit on the chin, you want to pay it back?
It's tough talk from the top minds in their field.
Would I choose to not do our duty as military fighting men? No, I would not make that decision, without question.
Mic Drop. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
The Half-Assed Morning Show, 93X.
What a crowd. We've got a spirited crowd out there, and it makes it all worthwhile. Thanks for checking in with our program this morning as we've made her up to 8:33. You know, we were trying to come up with something to do with Byron Buxton of the Minnesota Twins once we inevitably become friends with the man. We just love the guy. We loved watching him play ball last night in the stinking All-Star game. He said yesterday he's going to be a Twin for life. Well, we're likely going to stay here in town as well, so we better come up with something to do with the man. Something fun. Got a lot of great suggestions. Everything from snowshoeing and synchronized swimming to trolling kids on Facebook and arson.
I like arson. Let's move that to the top 5.
The suggestions covered everything, Josh. I believe we received the best suggestion for what we should do once we inevitably become friends with Byron Buxton. It's sweet and simple and meaningful, and I think we'd have a great time. Gilf Sheezes texted in to say we should share a ride on the Ferris wheel at the State Fair with Byron Buxton.
Oh, that would
Scary.
be nice. That's a perfect suggestion.
I think that's perfect.
Good thing it only fits 4 because I'm not going. Oh, actually, they fit more maybe now, huh?
I don't
remember. They got
remember.
that big one.
You don't like the Ferris wheel?
Nope, not at all. And people think it's so funny. Every time I've gotten on one against my own will to move it. It's not
shake
fun.
the car a bit?
Stop it.
Oh,
What
you
are
shake
doing?
the piss out of it. You try to shake it right out of the moorings.
No.
That's the key to a fun Ferris wheel ride. The big, massive one that they have now at the fair, I tried it once. I would never do it again.
Why is that?
Because there's windows. It's just like a hot fart in there. Because they don't want you diving out because you'll be dead, and it takes forever. The regular one at the Midway, I still love the good old-fashioned Ferris wheel. It's just a chance to see from above, and it's nice, and it's open air. I like the Ferris wheel. All right. Teachers, what are they doing these days since it's summertime? Just drinking and sleeping in? What do teachers do this time of year?
Golfing, maybe?
Yeah, my teacher friend has been golfing quite a bit, going up north, having a lot of fun.
One of us knows a teacher, and I can't recall who it is.
I know a teacher.
You know? Oh, you're married to a teacher.
Married to a teacher.
What is she doing these days?
Cheating.
Yeah, cheating. That's what she does every morning between 4 and about 10 o'clock. By the time I get home, she's
seeing another man?
Yeah.
It's the best time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, just relaxing, just enjoying life.
God, what a cake gig. Just straight up cake, isn't it, Josh? Josh always says teachers have a cake gig.
I've never said that.
All right, teachers.
Mad respect.
Teachers went over to TikTok, and they told some stories. What they discussed was the most horrific places they've bumped into students outside of school. Students also shared, let me get this all covered for sure. So the teachers talked about the most horrific places. Teachers talked about the most horrific places they bumped into students or parents of students who they have to see on a semi-regular basis as well, if they're little kids, right? Students also shared the unexpected times they've seen one of their teachers outside of school. Okay.
When I was a kid, it didn't matter. If you saw him anywhere, it was mortifying. And at first I thought, well, wait, what are you not doing at school? I guess I assumed they lived at school and weren't necessarily real people.
We've told these stories before, but what was mortifying about it?
I don't know how to describe it. It was odd because, we were at Target the first time it ever happened, and I was just very little with my parents, and they saw him in a way I'd never seen him before as a human being. I didn't really get it.
You didn't get it?
He's wearing jeans and shopping for some produce and stuff?
Yeah.
All right, so here we go again. Teachers have run into students or run into the parents of students in some, unfortunate places, in some unfortunate situations, and students have run into their teachers as well. Here is a teacher who said, I was teaching preschool and also working at a topless bar. I saw one of my students' dads at last call and then saw him again the next morning at 6 a.m. when he dropped his kid off for school.
No.
Woo-wee.
So she said topless bar.
Yeah.
Are there bars where just the servers are topless? I just assumed that meant strip club, but I guess I've never I think a strip club where the servers were topless.
I think she means strip club, like a topless
she must
strip club.
Yeah.
But it could be way back in the day. Way back in the day, yes, Josh, there were topless bars where the servers had their jugs out. Yeah.
Well,
so this could be an older lady who was working in one of those environments. I think she means working at a strip joint.
That'd be my guess.
One teacher was getting a bikini wax. Because teachers have pubes, too.
Not that lady. Not anymore.
Not anymore. I was getting a bikini wax, and halfway through, my technician told me that, hey, because of you, I'm doing great in my college math class. So it was an old student. She didn't realize.
She didn't recognize it?
Didn't recognize. When I was a teacher, one person said, I saw a current student who was 16 attempt to use his fake ID at the bar where I was moonlighting. So this teacher was also working at a bar and saw one of her 16-year-old students try to get himself a Steve Weiser with a fake ID. That must have been fun. Because I'm assuming the guy got shut down. The kid got shut down.
16, it's a little young to have a fake ID.
When I was a senior in high school, me and a buddy went to a hardware store and we ran into our physics teacher. Not that abnormal at the hardware store, but we saw him when we were in the line at the register and we were buying plastic tubing and a red funnel. And he looked at us, he goes, a little science experiment or something?
What were you doing, beer bonging?
Beer bonging.
Yeah.
He knew. He kind of gave us like the knowing nod and wink. It was like, you kids.
He beer bonged.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't think of a single time I've ran into a teacher outside of school.
Oh, we used to run into him all the time.
Yeah, I guess I've never experienced that, or at least nothing memorable.
Especially when we were in grade school, because some of the teachers lived in my neighborhood or nearby.
Yeah, the schools I went to were not in my city, so very rarely, once or twice, ever ran into a teacher.
Hell, our grade school principal lived 2 doors away from me.
Did he take any punishment?
No,
because he knew where he lived?
No, he was a great guy.
Never got TP'd or anything?
No. We didn't really start with that till we were in junior high. Our grade school principal was right 2 doors away, and we loved him. He was a great guy, and his family was cool as hell. Here's an interesting place for a teacher to run into a student right here. Therapy. He was on his way out as I was on my way in.
They're probably both there because of each other.
That could be.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah.
That's the bastard I've been talking about. Would this be weird from Little Village Jesus? He was called to a teacher's place for a medical emergency where a male fell. They walked in. It was an orgy with 8 people. The teacher that I had in high school was the guy who cracked his melon open from slipping on lube.
Wow.
Is that awkward?
That's the most awesome thing I've heard all day. You found out that one of your teachers was into gangbangs and group sex and whatnot? Hell yes.
They slipped on lube.
I wish I could tell that story. Now, again, your teachers aren't always going to recognize you. And vice versa, because, hell, a lot of kids come through, and sometimes a great amount of time has gone by since you were in school. Here is a teacher who went to their colonoscopy, and just as the backdooring was about to begin, he heard a voice from one of his former students say, "Hey, Mr. K, you were my favorite teacher. I'll be assisting you today."
Yeah,
and the teacher said back to the student, "Enjoy the view."
I mean, anybody that would be embarrassing. But I'd imagine having that previous relationship, teacher-student, would be worse. I wouldn't want to know, like, some dude I went to high school with or whatever is like, "Oh, yeah, we're about to insert that right in there." But my God, it's good to see you.
A teacher said, "A student was the only cashier when I was buying a pregnancy test."
Oh.
They're going to go straight to school and tell everyone, "Hey, Mrs. Yo-Yo has been banging."
Depends how old you are, if that's gonna that is gonna hurt you or not.
Elementary music school teacher Shiza said during COVID she had a mammogram and realized as the tech was feeling her up, she was a former student, saw her name on her certificate on the wall. We both had masks on, but we both realized it.
Damn, that's cool.
It's kind of a proud moment at the same time when your students became a doctor.
Well,
That's a great way to look at it.
They didn't all turn out losers.
Yeah, look at the success here.
Some of them did wonderful things, and maybe you are deserving of some credit. A teacher said, I got into an Uber once, blackout drunk, and my driver was one of my students' parents.
Oh, yeah, that's a bad one. That's a bad one.
I got a few people in my life who are teachers. One of them is shameless with his drinking. Shameless. Recently got so effing drunk at the state fair, he just passed out laying in the middle of one of the roads. Just completely.
Wow.
Just done. Out cold, unconscious from alcohol intake. And the next day he's like, yeah, I totally passed out. And I said, what if one of your students would have crossed your path? What if a parent? And he just kind of, I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. I'd be a little more cautious in certain situations.
Absolutely.
A buddy of mine ran into his son's kindergarten teacher at a local bar in Egan teacher, and she was making out with like random dudes at the bar, like 2-3 guys. And there were some stories that came back about her, and she's a wild one.
Hot stuff.
This person used to teach firefighting in Japan on a military base.
Whoa.
Also worked in a military base, I should say. One day I saw my student steal from the counter. It was awkward when we had to apprehend her while waiting for base security.
Here's a guy who can say that he and his college professor were locked up in jail together over the weekend.
That's pretty cool.
Didn't say what his college professor or he had done. And also, closing out our conversation on teachers, another teacher friend of mine, I was there, ringside, baby, front lines, when one of his former students propositioned him for sex.
Yowzer.
And it was
That's a big no-no.
Straight out of the movies. Straight out of the movies. Gal walks up. She's now 21, 2 years old. He had taught her in high school. And she says, hey, Mr. Yo-Yo. And he goes, oh, hey, Broomhilda, whatever her name was, right? And the gal was pretty loaded. And they're talking, and the gal's complimenting him up and down. You were such a great teacher, and we had so much fun, and I always appreciated it. And then, I don't know, 5 minutes later, she says, you know, I hope you don't mind me telling you this, but back when I was in school, wee-wah, did I want to throw you down. And my pal was very uncomfortable with that. Red-faced, oh, no, you don't mean that. And she said, yes, I do. As a matter of fact, if you want to duck into the next room, I'd be happy to show you how much. And he said, hell no.
Good for him. Yeah, no, don't get messed up in that.
Did you volunteer yourself then?
Yes. But she wasn't interested in me. She wasn't. But that was a hell of a something to witness firsthand. I still bring it up to him once in a while. I'm like, remember when that gal walked in? And he says, yeah, I remember. What a life. What a rock star lifestyle they lead. Teachers. Remember the old 38 Special song, Josh? Teacher, teacher.
Sing it for me.
Teacher, teacher, can you teach me this and that and the other thing? Anyway.
Weren't they just in town, 38 Special?
I don't know. I forgot. I love that band, but I've
Me too.
started to ignore when people come to town, to be totally honest with you. Love 38 Special. There was a movie that song was a part of the soundtrack, and I think the movie was called Teachers, and it starred Nick Nolte and Ralph Macchio.
Oh, wow.
1984, I'm going to say. Anyway.
Don Barnes. A lot of chest hair, that guy.
Dude, he was not afraid to flaunt what he could grow on his body.
Kip Winger said, I'm going to try that.
Yeah.
But he wasn't able to do the same.
We were talking teachers. They're just regular people. They do this, they do that. Sometimes when you're a kid, you can't come to grips with that. Really, Josh was mentioning when he was a little kid and he'd run into the teacher at the grocery store and whatnot, he would say to himself, what are you, a regular person? That's not right.
Who's manning the school right now?
Here are some interesting teacher text messages coming in. How about this? In 6th grade, my social studies teacher had to sit in jail for 30 days for a DWI and he was teaching on work release. Really?
Coming in with the ankle monitor?
I bet that was a long time ago. Do you think they'll still let a teacher continue to teach on work release after getting a DWI?
Not anymore.
Yeah, that's not happening.
One of our listeners, high school football coach / history teacher, got drunk and rolled his truck.
Oh, no.
Now, running into your teacher in an unusual place. Running into your teacher in an unusual place. Dude, what it sounds like to me is one of our listeners, when they were a 7th grader, ran into their teacher naked.
Oh, boy.
At the gym.
Oh.
So you see, number one, awkward, I guess, for some people to see your teacher outside of school and the sumbitch D's swinging in the men's locker room at the gym.
Old saggy balls.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. A friend of mine's dad would take us to the Y, and once we saw him nude in the locker room there, and that was pretty disturbing.
That changes things. That changes a relationship dynamic.
I remember the first time I saw one of my friend's dads completely naked. It was also at the gym in the locker room, and it disturbed the hell out of me.
No, I can confidently say I have never seen any of my friends' parents naked.
And I took it out on my friend, actually, at school the next day. I said, tell your friggin' dad to put a towel on in the friggin' locker room.
That's before I knew that was common. That's the first time I had ever seen something like that. I had just assumed everyone would have a towel or underwear on or something like that. But that wasn't the case, especially if you're of a certain age.
Get naked in there.
Here's a listener who says, one of my teachers used to let us kids take their car to go to McDonald's for lunch, and I'm pretty sure they sold weed, too. One listener says, I ran into my English professor at the old glory hole.
Oh.
In high school, I worked as a movie store rental clerk, and I saw my teachers renting pornos all the time. Do teachers watch porno, Dana?
I think so, yeah. They're normal people. When I worked at Blockbuster, though, I did have one time, there's a neighbor of mine across the street. I knew him very well. And I was just kind of working the store, walking around, and I wasn't on the register, but I spotted him in line. I go, oh, hey, Gordy, come over here. I'll bring you up on one of the open registers. And he just slowly walks towards me because he knows he's renting 3 softcore porn DVDs. And he probably thought, all right, Wessel's manning the floor. I can sneak through and get these. But no, there he was with 3 just softcore porns.
Why was he renting the softcore stuff?
We didn't have the hardcore stuff at Blockbuster.
I didn't even know you had the softcore stuff.
It was the softest of soft, Josh.
I wouldn't have given you a dime for that garbage.
I know.
All right, finally, especially when you're younger and you run into your teacher away from school, it's funny, but, it suddenly dawns on you, oh, they're just a regular person with a regular life. And I'll go in this direction here quick before we go. In high school, there was a dude who was he ran detention. He was like an office, that doesn't make any sense. He was kind of a hallway monitor kind of a guy, although we didn't have too many rules back then. But that was his thing. He would kind of wander the halls and straighten kids out if he had to. And then after school, he was the detention guy. We tortured this guy. We never let him rest. Anytime we saw him, we would go after him and tease him and ridicule him. We were straight up dicks to this guy. He was this harmless little sawed-off guy. He was way too nice. He should have choked us out many times, but he didn't. He took it and took it and took it. We were relentless. And then one day, me and my top Hellraiser buddy were standing around the school, and here comes Dinkus sawed-off detention guy. And suddenly in the distance, we see this chubby little 3-year-old kid running down the hallway. Dad! Dad! And of course, it took our breath away for a second, but it wasn't our child. It was detention guy's child. And this little boy waddles up and gives detention guy the biggest hug, and the detention guy says, oh, Gary, yay! Thank you for coming to work and seeing me. And they're kind of hugging and rocking, how people do. They were so happy to see each other. And my top Hellraiser buddy says to me, he goes, Well, that ruins it.
Yeah, definitely.
And I have to be honest with you. I guess maybe I was even more cold-blooded than the other guy because I said, what do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
What ruins what? And he says, this guy's got a little kid. We can't continue to do the things we've been doing to this guy. And it changed him. It did. And it did change me, too. I had a much different approach with detention guy from then on out.
Can I guess what the approach was?
What?
You went after his kid?
Yes, exactly. I took it out on the innocent child. No, I suddenly thought, I can't be doing this anymore. The detention guy's just a regular sucker with a job and a kid and problems and all that. I wish that kid never would have shown up that day because we had a lot more planned for him.
He ruined it for you.
He ruined it.
Stupid kids.
Chugged Up Plumber Jesus texted in a shout out to his son Kai. It's his first day back to school already.
Dang.
And he said Arizona sucks. I'm assuming that's why. Corey texted in a happy 20th anniversary to his smoking hot wife, Lindsay, and another anniversary in the brother and sisterhood. Happy anniversary to Book Nerd Jesus from Junkin' Fools Jesus. They're on their way, They're on their way to Rockfest. And in true romantic fashion, he wrapped it up with a heartfelt tribute when he said, thanks for all the noggin these past 11 years.
Oh, that's a perfect way to end the show on.
Noggin.
Hey, podcast pals. It's Dana from the Half-Ass Morning Show. As always, we appreciate you checking on the podcast, and it's all brought to you by our friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. The July heat means it's officially swass and crotch soup season. Gross! It also means our AC units are being put to the test. I recently went through an issue myself, and I was so happy to have my friends at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning in my corner. They gave me real options, didn't make me feel like a dummy for not knowing a single thing about HVAC systems, and let me choose what worked best for my home and my budget. No pressure, just comfort my way. Enjoy the show, thanks for listening, and stay cool this summer with Standard.